Welcome everybody to another edition of Bottom of the Bill. We got Nate Deas on the show today. Thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So for those who don't know, Nate's done art for literally everybody in the jam scene. Dead and Company, Pigeons Playing Ping Pong.
Yeah.
I mean, the list goes on. I read the resume. It's like pretty insane, man. Before we get started, let's do the obligatory cheers.
Yeah. Thanks for coming over.
Cheers. Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely.
And meeting you for the first time, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really was. I tried so many times to go out to the Riverside Market because I know you're there every Sunday. Right? It's on Sundays?
Saturdays.
Saturdays.
Yeah.
But I never wake up in time on Saturday.
Yeah.
I know it's like over at 3. But,
Yeah,
right?
over at 3.
You don't wake up till 3 p.m. on Saturdays?
No, when I was working night shift.
Oh.
But
But
Fridays can be rough, though. You know, you need to rest.
Exactly.
But yeah, we're actually done with RAM until next year because college football started and Saturdays are spoken for now.
Yeah.
So.
That is true.
So they're not doing RAM at all anymore?
Oh, they are doing RAM, but I won't be there.
Okay, gotcha.
But yeah, I highly recommend for everybody to go because it's a lot of fun there.
Yeah, I've been a couple of times. I always take people that are coming in from out of town there and everything. It's like a cool time to show people, you know. All right, so how'd you get started with what you do?
Well, so I've always drawn, but I actually started off trying to. I'll take it back. I've always been a huge fan of music, and when I realized that I couldn't play drums professionally, I had to pivot. So I went to try and be a rock journalist, and after graduating college with a journalism degree, realized that I hated journalism and writing, and I am painfully shy, so interviewing people was the most nerve-wracking thing. And the only thing that made me happy was drawing. So I went back to school for graphic design, started doing flyers for friends' bands and local promo flyers for venues, and then eventually just kept building a portfolio, and then getting commissioned to do real posters. So.
Was that was that something? Was that a side of the industry that you were always like kind of drawn to, or were you trying to explore? You just kind of fell into it, or how'd you get into that side of it?
So when I went back to school for graphic design, the end goal was to the only thing that interested me was designing for music projects,
Nice.
doing gig posters, doing album artwork. That was my final project, was a whole album package with the promotional poster and all that.
Really, that's very cool.
Yes.
So what else? I'm just curious. What else what else was in that package?
Gosh, I have to remember now, but it was the whole the liner notes, the whole album design, CD cover, because we listened to CDs back then.
Right.
And how to create a fake tour poster and put all these fake dates on it, and but yeah.
Awesome, man. Very cool. So when did you start kind of getting commissioned to do the bigger bands?
So I worked really hard and was doing cold calls to any band that was coming to town, which living in South Florida was not many bands. We had two whole venues down there.
That's true.
But eventually my name started getting out there as the South Florida guy. And I did my first real poster for Built to Spill in 2010.
I love them.
Yeah,
I
they're
fucking
so
love that
good.
band.
Yeah.
They're still. I can't remember when they first came out with that. God, what is? I have one of their records over there too. But I love that band. Sorry.
I've never. What kind of music are they? I've never.
It's
heard of
indie
them.
rock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
indie
would
rock,
say.
but their lead guitarist is he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, just was really reaching out to everybody, and had a day job at the same time. I worked at a cruise line, which it was awesome. I wish I would have been happier there. But basically went the 9 to 5 and then would go home and work on gig posters for whatever I could get my hands on.
That must have gotten burnt out pretty quickly.
With the day job, yeah. But yeah, I just had my time budget of like go to bed at 3 a.m. and wake up the next morning, go to work, and then do it all over. And
fuck, man.
Yeah.
What I'm curious what it was like coming up in the art scene down there. Were you involved in, like, were you going out to shows and doing like live art at all, or like how did you get plugged in?
Never do live art. That'd be just way too much pressure for
really.
me. But like I would. So a lot of the times, like the deal was I would do a 50-50 split with the band, where they might not have a merch guy that night, and so I would be slinging my posters at the shows, and at the end of the night settle up for whatever we sold. They get 50%, I get 50%, and go with that, and just just grinding.
So you just approached bands like that, and and then did you have like any mentors coming up that might have been already involved in the scene or anything?
Yeah, not so many mentors to give me advice. Like when I got a little bit bigger, I would reach out to my poster art heroes. Like Mark Spusta he's like one of my poster gods, and he gave me some good advice. And Justin Helton, who's Status Serigraph, you've seen his posters if you've seen any jam band. He was really helpful coming up.
Okay, cool. And what kind of advice were they giving you? Or
a lot of it was just like, don't read comments, and kind of like business advice, like maybe not what to charge, but just kind of like little things here and there.
Yeah. What's your favorite comment that you've seen from people on either your art or anyone else's?
Fuck. So one of my first huge posters was for 311, and they were my favorite band growing up. Like I actually was like looking through the Blue album and looking at the liner notes and was like, this is what I want to do when I grow up, was design stuff like this.
Yeah.
So my very first poster for them, they reveal it right an hour before the show starts, and the very first comment is, do you know that meme with the gymnast who's like,
oh yeah.
So that was the fucking very first comment. I'm like, oh great. And then immediately after, worst poster of the tour. I'm like, oh man. But so learn very quickly just not to read comments.
I kind of find it fascinating with the comments. So people can get pretty creative with how nasty they can get in those things.
I'm awful.
You are?
Oh yeah,
Are you one of those people that like trolls the internet?
Oh my god, like
crazy.
I hate
people like you.
I do it all the time.
Why?
Just mostly if what they're saying is like pissing me off or something.
Do you do it to artists?
No, I would never do
Yeah.
it to a musician. Like that's like suicide, basically. Like doing that. You don't shit on other people's work. You're making work. But I'll definitely mess around with them.
I feel
I
like
do it to you like every day.
Yeah, no. Yeah, you comment my post and make me look like an asshole all
Somebody
the time.
stole his speakers out of his car. We're still looking for the thief, and everybody's commenting like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and I was just like, "It was me."
Yeah.
Like, immediately.
I was just like, yeah.
And nobody laughed at it except for you.
I was like, I'd be real happy if it was.
that's your back and forth though. I think.
Yeah.
But still.
But yeah, I feel like, God, especially with artists, like, if people realize what went into it and the dedication that it took, and it's not just drawing the thing, it's all of everything else that goes into what we do, maybe they think twice about saying something shitty,
Yeah. I would hope so, man. I want to think that people aren't genuinely that bad, but I think that there's also a thing with being removed. You know, you're just at a keyboard and you can just say whatever comes to your mind real quick with no consequences.
Exactly.
So it's just like, you know, and they feel like the only consequence is that you're hurting somebody's feelings and you don't really know because you never have to deal with seeing them.
Right.
You know?
Fuck that person, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
you don't have to, never have to see them.
We put out our first music video for the album back in May. And one guy comments on it like, "This is trash" or something, and then Sean just goes like, "Thanks for listening."
Well, that's a great response.
Yeah. But yeah, man, people can get pretty nasty, especially at what like when you're if you're a band like at the level that we're at, where like you're not getting like hundreds and hundreds of comments or that are bearing the bad ones. Like that one shitty comment is like the only thing that you see, and you're just like, wow. But go ahead, just hit the delete button.
At the top the whole time.
Yeah, it stays at the top. It's the worst, man. So it's interesting that you'd come to Jacksonville from South Florida, because I feel like the music scene is definitely, I'd say probably a little bit, it's probably thriving a little bit more here. I feel like the art community down there is so much bigger between Miami and Fort Lauderdale, even Palm Beach now.
To a degree, well, so not my art.
Okay.
So in this year being in Jacksonville, I have been embraced so much more than I ever have down in South Florida. Like, I feel like I'm actually part of the scene here in a year versus grinding every single day to be noticed and do something down there.
That's how I felt too.
And there's actually, well, just being in the music scene, you know, we have a local music scene up here.
Right,
So-
right. Yeah, it's weird down there, right? There's so many people, and like there's a lot of great players, but the scenes are so like cliquey. I mean, not that, they're kind of cliquey everywhere, but those scenes are like you got. I don't know. I grinded down there for years, man. Could not break in. I mean, I was in a touring blues band. Still felt like I wasn't even in the blues scene. You know what I mean? Or like in any music scene. Then I came to Jacksonville, and people instantly were just like, "Yeah, come on, like let's go, like let's work." You know?
You think this place is a music city?
I wouldn't say it's a music city,
I'm serious. I'm
but I'd
asking
say
a
that it has a
question.
good music scene. Yeah.
I think it does too, and it's just it's not dying.
Yeah.
It's doing the opposite of that. I mean, we just got Underbelly popping up and like big. I can't wait till next year when it starts like kind of like picking up a little bit more, hopefully. But it's ridiculous the bands that they've got there. I can't remember, was this band's Cold? What is the name of the band? I don't really know who they are, but they like just sold it out. That's a pretty hard place to sell out like that
it was
many
like-
people. You know what I mean?
Like 600 cap or something.
I'm excited.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's growing too.
Yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like in the jam band community here, anyways, for at least a jam band, I don't know in any of the other scenes really, because I'm not really in them, but like, yeah, everybody's friends and everybody's welcoming and no one's gonna shit on you or big time you and all that shit.
Pretty good reggae scene here too, I think, and also
I'm not saying there's not.
hardcore shows do
I'm
pretty
just,
well.
just saying what you said, which is like, yeah, everybody will embrace you real quick.
Yeah. So,
The city of brotherly love, that's what they call it.
yeah. So how long were you working down there before you came up here?
Let's see. So I went back to school in Atlanta, and then left Atlanta in 2009 to go down to South Florida and get a real job. And then was doing that job until 2016, and then after that we just moved up last year.
Okay. So
yeah,
a few
grinding
years.
from 2009 to 2020.
Wow.
So a long time.
Yeah, it's a rough scene down there, man. What was Atlanta like?
Atlanta's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell that to Bill. He hates it.
I'm not a big fan of that city.
You guys just played there, right? Or
We were going to,
going
show got
to, and it
canceled.
got canceled, unfortunately, yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
Nah.
Love
that's all right.
COVID. Thanks,
Yeah,
COVID.
It's been great.
Yeah.
But yeah, Atlanta was great. There's so many venues there, and there's always something to do. And yeah, I had a hard time leaving that city, but it was for the best.
Were you working down there or up there at all?
I was working at a restaurant and a copy shop.
I mean, as an artist, were you working?
As an artist, doing flyers, yeah, doing flyers for the Earl, and yeah, just any friends bands that would allow me to do their flyers. So
did you ever have like any situations where you did a flyer for somebody and they were like, "This is terrible"?
yes,
Really?
I've had plenty of those. They're like,
So-
"Yeah, we're not going to use this."
So I'm
Like,
curious.
we're just doing it for free.
Yeah. So I'm curious as to what in those scenarios did you do wrong, do you think, and how did you what have you learned to make yourself be, I guess, more malleable as an artist working with bands?
I would say, okay, so I had just finished with the Art Institute in Atlanta and with a graphic design degree. So within those 2 years of being at the Art Institute, I went from hand drawing everything to not drawing anything at all. It was all computer work. And eventually, which a lot of it was so bad. So eventually I got stuck just trying to find the perfect image to base something off of, or the perfect typeface, and it was taking forever. And it was like, well, I could just draw what I need it to be, and that changed everything. And then so just doing that and doing the work and getting better at who I am and what I'm doing has just, that's what's made the name for myself. And just being myself more has gotten bigger clients. So
Yeah. It's like you feel like you've kind of found your style, and like you have kind of like a stamp that goes in everything that you do.
Always working on that. So.
Yeah, it's kind of what everyone's trying to do, I think, as an artist, right?
Yeah, but I can see yours from like a mile away. And I love it too. Like it's like you really 100% have like your own style that's like just so, I don't know, a landmark style. It's great.
Oh, I appreciate
I'm
that.
gushing right now. I've wanted to monitor for so long. Or you, sorry, you're here. I just love your artwork so fucking much. It's amazing.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
I've always been so jealous of artists because I can't do anything artistic at all.
Well,
Yeah,
I,
even
not
playing,
even close.
even musically.
I
right?
feel the same way.
That's different. What?
I feel the same way other way around.
Oh, about
so,
for music? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it's like a left brain, right brain sort of deal, but
I feel like it's gotta be like everything else, right? Like when people tell me that well, I'm just not talented, I can't play an instrument. It's like, well, you probably haven't sat down and practiced. It's the same thing with
yeah, I haven't practiced either.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's gotta be like almost an insult to you for someone like, well, I just don't have that natural gift that you have.
Right.
Like
Well,
you came out of the womb just like being an amazing artist.
I wish. Yeah, no. But that's like anything. So you find what you're passionate about, and that's what you dedicate your time to. So like you guys found music and you got great at what you do, and so I'm still always constantly working at getting better. So that's what I'm passionate about, and that's
what's practice look like for an artist?
Just about that.
That's what I was wondering. You know, like, cause like for me, I'm like, all right, well, I should learn how to play a new song and then like perfect it, transcribing it.
That's what they
that's
say.
the term.
That's the term,
but,
right? Be less of a musician, Bill.
Yeah, be more a musician, and then do like scales and all that other stuff. But yeah, but how do you practice?
Well, it's just so I'm always, for the most part, I always have a sketchbook on me, and so if I'm not working on something, I feel like I have to be doing something with my hand. And so like I'm out camping and we'll be drawing the tree in front of me. So that's practice to me.
Totally.
Constantly sketching and trying to capture a leaf better, and then doing that. And then when it comes time to getting an assignment, you kind of look back at these sketches and it's like, oh, okay, this was an idea I wanted to go back on. So
it's kind of similar to what to like when you have like a song idea or something. Like I always take out like my phone. I'll be like on a gig or something or driving home and I'll hear like an idea and I'll take my phone out and just like hum it into the phone, or I'll be like just riffing on something on the guitar and I'm like, oh, that's a cool riff, let me log that. And then when I'm like feeling inspired to write something but I can't come up with an idea, I'll just go back to my phone and see, just try to come up, like work on something like that. Sounds like it's a pretty similar process.
Yeah, that was something I wanted to ask you guys. Like, how do you come up with new stuff? Like, like how do you ad lib with something?
I always just like whenever I sit down to like practice, the first like at least I think every musician's like this. Every like fucking like at least 15 minutes you're just noodling. You're just going around, almost like I guess scribbling. Like you're just like I don't know, just let your brain work, whatever. And then you're just like playing stuff and chords and melodies, and then all of a sudden you play this like one thing. You're like, ooh, fuck yeah! And then it just I don't know. Then you just have this idea and you kind of just like build it over and over again, like, and it just becomes something.
Yeah,
it's very strange.
Yeah, sometimes like
I don't know where it comes from, but yeah, that's it.
You get that aha moment.
Yeah.
But then there's another aspect of it too, which is harder for a lot of people. But when people are like, I'm going to sit down and write a song now, and the song is going to sound like this, and a lot of people can't do that. But if you put your mind to it, it's just like anything else. Like I'm gonna paint the Eiffel Tower today.
I feel like.
I'm trying to do analogies, but I feel like they're way off.
well, I feel like when I sit down and have that, like, I'm going to draw this thing, and I know exactly how it's going to look, and this is what it's going to do. Like, this is how I'm going to do it. That's when I sit there for hours with nothing being accomplished, and everything that I've tried to do, it's like, oh, nope, that's not working. I got to go, like, back to loosey-goosey, and then my wife will come in and it's like, well, why don't you just do this? And it's like, oh, shit, you're right.
There is no worse feeling to me than spending like a day of what you think is like trying to be productive and then coming out with nothing at the end of it.
Yeah.
And it's literally like I could have just sat down and watched TV all day. That would have felt better than what I just did today.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, when you have nothing, like I accomplished nothing today.
Yeah.
But I done all this research, I guess. Like,
yeah.
I know now not what to do. So
right.
That's something.
There's days where I'll sit down because like I have like different ways that I practice. So like when I practice, I try to have an intention of what I'm practicing that day. So like it'll be either I'm gonna work on writing a song, or I'm going to work on technique, or I'm gonna work on rhythm stuff. So I'll sit down with a metronome. And then there's some days where I can't really like pick or choose what I want to practice. So I'm like bouncing back and forth between, let me try some technique. Oh, that's a cool idea. Let me try to write a song with this. Maybe I should do it to a metronome. And I start going back and forth with all this shit. I'm just like, I don't know what to fucking like work on today. And I've spent like 3 hours trying to like figure out what I'm doing, and nothing's happening here. It's like it's just not a good feeling.
I know that feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's.
But like those like writing prompts that they give you well, you were in journalism, right?
Yeah.
They'll be like, all right, write a story with this is this one line, and then write it out like that. There's this TikToker that does that, and what he says is like, all right, write the song of I don't know, The Killer Somebody Told Me, but doing it in that style of Talking Heads. And that's what he does all day, and then it's amazing.
That's cool.
But that's sometimes you gotta get out of your comfort zone a little bit like that, but you don't come up with that idea until like your wife or somebody comes up and tells you like, do it this way. You're like, oh shit, okay, fine.
That's an interesting.
I'll send him his stuff.
Yeah,
it's so funny.
Do this song in the style of so and so. That's a cool practice technique for sure. Yeah. You ever try and do that? You ever try to like emulate an artist?
Well, getting started, that's all I did.
Yeah.
Like I borrowed so much from my heroes. Like
borrowed's a fun word that artists and musicians use to steal. By the way, kids.
Oh, that was gonna be my next. It's like sometimes I borrowed too much, and I've definitely have crossed lines of stealing from people who I admired and loved, and just to get to that next stage. And I've met some of them, and Jeff Wood, for example, he's such an amazing concert poster. He's a legend. And I met him one day, and I'm like, that my lettering style was basically me trying to copy your lettering style. And he's like, yeah, well, that's what we all do.
Yeah.
It's like, it's yours now. So I'm like, okay, well, thank you. Like,
that's a very cool response.
Yeah.
You could have just been a total dick. Like, why don't you come up with your own shit, bro?
Yeah.
Well,
that's, when I met him, I'm like, I'm sorry,
Yeah. Well, I think that's part of the growing pains as when you're first getting started. It's like you have to have a point of reference, I mean, like, I was
And-
trying to be like Eric Clapton and Stevie Ray Vaughan when I first started, and I'm still not like anywhere close either of them, but whatever.
I
Like
had an entire band that was a complete rip off the
Disco
Disco
Biscuits.
Biscuits,
Yeah, totally.
like for 4 years.
Yeah.
Like nobody else played that style of music except for them. And we're like, that seems to be my favorite band too. That's weird. That I sound just like them.
But in the process of going through that, you find your own sound.
You find your own voice. Yeah. It's like that. So the comments used to always be like, "Oh, it looks like a Spoosta. It looks like Alan Forbes," And now eventually, it's come into its own. Like, oh, okay, that's a Deas piece.
That's awesome.
So, and hopefully for the better, and hopefully it can continue to be like, okay, I think I'm doing my own thing now, but there's always the influences will always be there.
Do you guys collaborate at all with each other? Like, is there like a network of artists that get together and do things like that, especially like poster art and that kind of stuff?
It's a pretty like small circle. Like I think we know who each other are, and we, for the most part, try to help each other, like pump each other up on Facebook and Instagram. There are some players out there who are in it for themselves.
Like that look right now. It's like I saw that you saw the name or the face in your head at that moment.
But for the most
timers,
part,
man.
but for the most part, we're a pretty helping community, and I'm not good on collaborations. Like, so I've collaborated on a few pieces where a buddy of mine, Eric Harbeling, who's an amazing muralist. We've done a few prints together, and they've all turned out really well, but the whole process is I'm too controlling with it. So like to do collaborative pieces is tough for me, but we're a good network out there.
Is our band a collaborative piece? Because there's 4 people doing it at once.
Well, yeah.
All bands are collaborative pieces.
Not all bands are collaborative.
Hot take.
I think that there's definitely. I mean, we're a collaborative band for sure because we all write, and then if we bring an idea to the table, and then everyone kind of adds their own thing onto it.
That's every band, though.
That's not every band. There's a lot of bands out there where someone's writing the entire thing, and then there's hiring musicians to play.
Yeah, of course.
That's not collaborative. That's one person writing music.
All right, whatever.
This
is getting
So
into
you
semantics.
you guys are a collaboration then.
Yeah, we're a collaboration.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
But like, it's cool too. Like, there's another aspect of collaborating. Like, I've been doing like these. Like, since COVID started, I've had some friends from around the country. We've done different collaborations and stuff. Some of it were like original compositions. Others were like, covers or whatever. Mm-hmm. But what I tried to do with the original stuff was like, okay, I'm going to write this part, and I'm going to give it to you, and then you're just going to add something. And I'm going to like not say anything about it, even though naturally as an artist, like, you have your own idea of where you want it to go. But you have to like take that, like, your ego out of it for a minute and say, this is why we're doing this. So let's stay true to what we're doing, And that is hard to do, I will say.
I did one collaboration with my other poster friend, Owen Murphy, who's just killing it right now. And that's basically how we did it. He's like, I want you to do the rough sketch. I'm going to ink it. And then I want you to put color in, and then I'm going to put the highlights in it. And it was just like no direction either way.
Just like, feeding off what each other's doing. Do you have that available somewhere?
Yeah, it was for Pigeons Playing Ping Pong's Home Fest during COVID. So
okay,
that was, and it turned out really well.
Hey everyone, just wanted to take a second to talk to you about one of our favorite music venues, Blue Jay Listening Room. Blue Jay is a space for true music lovers where every ticket is a backstage pass. Silence your cell phones, enjoy a nice glass of wine or craft beer, and be part of an intimate experience unlike anywhere else in Jacksonville. Hear national and local artists sing their original songs and share the stories behind them in a space carefully curated for the premier show-going experience. I personally have seen some of my favorite shows here, as well as having played with some of my heroes. Not only is Blue Jay a wonderfully unique experience, it has become a staple in the Florida music scene. Mention Bottom of the Bill on your next visit and receive 10% off your tab. Blue Jay is located at 2457 3rd Street South, Jacksonville Beach, and be sure to check out www.bluejayjacks.com for news, ticketing, and events.
We really need a young Jamie for this episode. I just keep on thinking about I'm like, okay, can I see a picture of that the whole time?
We can
let's start a music podcast and then all right, let's start a podcast about art so everybody can listen to us talk about it.
What did it look like?
So there's a big old mushroom, and then some pigeons around it. So.
That sounds about right.
Dope. We could probably find it and then just put it up on the screen for him, right?
Okay, here it is.
Here it is. What an amazing piece of art that was.
It's beautiful.
I'm curious how you got linked up with some of those bands, because a lot of those guys are up northeast and or even out west. So it's
So I don't know if the poster artist John Warner. If you're in the industry, he has worked with everybody.
Okay.
And he's done posters for Furthur,
awesome.
everybody. But he is the merch guy for Disco Biscuits and has created his empire, Highline merch. He got me the first Mo gig that I did. And so it was a combination of cold calling everybody who was coming to town and hopefully doing their South Florida poster, and then eventually getting guys like John to reach out and be like, I've been looking at your stuff and would you like to do something for Disco Biscuits? I'm like, well,
fuck
yes,
yeah.
yes I would.
What'd you do for them?
I've done a bunch of stuff for them.
No shit,
Yeah.
really? I love that.
Actually, I just finished a poster for them. They were going to be playing at the Westville Music Bowl, the tennis court up in New Hampshire.
Okay, definitely never heard of that before.
But it got canceled.
Oh yeah,
last
they played the
second.
Philly Stadium, man. They're from Philadelphia. They played the stadium.
Oh, they're from Philly? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, that's awesome. Did you get to talk to them or anything, or just
I have not met them.
Yeah.
I'm not good at meeting the bands.
You
and
should
stuff.
never meet your heroes. I know that. For
I
sure.
learned that when I was a rock and roll journalist.
Yeah.
Do you know the band and You Will Know Us by the Trail of Dead?
Yeah, man. I haven't heard about them since 2004.
Yeah.
though.
That's how old I am, and that's when I was
I'll
a
listen to
journalism.
that.
So, yeah, I interviewed their Jason Reese, their drummer, guitar player, and so on stage they're these gods to me, and then he comes up to me and he's shit-faced after the gig, and he's this tall on me.
Oh my god.
Oh man, it ruined everything. It's still love them. They're fantastic, but
Yeah, but he's just a little short for your liking.
yeah.
I've never
It's
had.
they're people.
Yeah, exactly.
I've never met anybody that was oh no, that's not true. Except what happens to me is then I just act like an idiot. Because most people freeze up. I overtalk. I met Jamie Shields at the New Deal, and he's my favorite keyboardist of all time. He's the best, and I was just.
Well, that's a lot of
That's just how do you come up with your stuff?
Yeah.
Just stupid shit like that.
At least,
Oh yeah, and Eli Winderman from Dopapod too. I totally forgot it. I asked him, what's your repertoire? Because I know that he went to Berkeley and then he did classical piano, and I was doing classical too. And he looks at me like this. He goes, "What's my repertoire?"
Yeah.
And then just walks away. And I'm like, no.
You deserve that though.
Now that's a man when you meet in person and you're like, holy fuck, you're tall. He's 6'5", dude. He's really tall. But anyways.
Have you ever done work for Dopapod?
Yes.
Nice.
And actually, I'm about to start on another one for them.
Really? Are they
yeah.
going back on the road?
Yeah, man. Are you kidding me? Have you seen their fucking tour?
I've seen a few things, but I didn't know they were doing are they doing an album and everything?
Tour. I don't know if they're doing an album, but
Yeah, I did. So the return of Dopapod, I did a poster for, and then I'm doing something. I'm not sure where it's going to be, but it's going to be one of their part of their Halloween run.
Nice. Are you dropping some secret shit right now we're not supposed to know
I
about?
don't think so.
Yeah. You're announcing dates for them.
no, yeah, they have that. I remember there's a Halloween run in there, but their tour is ridiculous. It's the whole country, man.
They've been getting a lot of good art.
I remember seeing a poster with the dates on it now, actually. But I'd like them to do another album. That'd be great, guys. If you're hearing this, I want you to do another album. So just go ahead and do that. Thank
I
you.
want you to keep doing Octave Cat. Is what I like.
Oh, I want Octave Cat to
that
succeed
band
also.
is
That
the
band's
best.
fucking amazing.
Yeah. Dopapod's great too. Sorry.
I love Dopapod. It's so
Maybe
different.
I'll get to meet Eli Winterman again, and I can do a second take at it.
Yeah. Get a chance to redeem yourself.
No, there's no chance.
Yeah, 'cause I'm sure he remembers you.
Actually, I forgot. We did play a festival together when they were first starting out, and they headlined. And then I had already embarrassed myself before, but I was like, he doesn't remember me. And then he came. I was just playing on my keyboards, and someone told him like, you should go check out this kid's keyboards. He's got a lot of Moogs and everything like that. And he comes up, and I'm just like, and he's just like, just looking at all that stuff. And I just go like, I'm like, and he just doesn't say anything to me. He's like that, and then just like walks away.
So, yeah, it's a good setup.
It's a good setup.
But anyways, I love you. You're my hero.
I've always wondered, like, because like they were kind of taking a break for a while, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always curious as to when bands take a break and then like come back out of nowhere. I'm always like, did you guys just need money? Is that what's going on? Because like I mean, obviously music is a part of it, but they were all kind of doing their own thing. Like Rob Compa had his own.
I didn't know what he was doing, but Octave Cat was so
Octave
good.
Cat, and like they all had like their own thing going on afterwards. But it's all like a part of me is like, well, those probably weren't making much money. So Dopapod's like, you know, they're not like huge, but they're big enough where they're probably making a little bit of money each of them. You know,
people were really excited when they came back.
Yeah, for sure. So I always just look at that, and it's hard for me, like as a professional musician, to look at that and be like, oh yes, they're back together because they love playing with each other, they love the music. It's like, yeah, they probably just need the money.
Or maybe their other projects weren't as fulfilling, and
right.
This is where their heart was, and they needed the time off to realize that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's a positive way of looking at it.
I still remember like when they were first started, they played the Mellow Mushroom in Jacksonville Beach.
What?
Yep. And it was like there may have been like, I don't know, 40 people there or something like that. Back in the day, like the Mellow Mushroom at Jack's Beach was popping off. That was a really cool place to play. I can't believe it. Like they would turn the lights off, bring in like whole fucking lighting equipment and everything like that. I played there several times. But yeah, Dopapod was just like, we'll play Mellow Mushroom, and they just did. I was like, I'm so happy I got to see them. They played their Led Zeppelin medley. Have you ever seen them do that before?
No.
They play every song from Led Zeppelin in about 5 minutes. It's ridiculous. It's not like really, really fast, but like every like famous riff or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's so fucking cool.
That's awesome.
They don't do that anymore. That's too cheesy, apparently.
Maybe they should do that again.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be dope. Bring that back.
That'd be dope. A pod. That's so good.
Yeah.
It's dad joke of the century right there.
No, not really. I mean, it's pretty good though.
Solid. Sorry, I drink my water real
I know. I
quick.
started coughing. It's bad timing.
Billy smokes meth in the show. It's really not a
smoke
good
meth.
look, but I mean, you know, he's from Kentucky. What are you gonna do?
You want to fight about it? No, I don't smoke. Why would you say that?
I'm just saying, so that the people know what's going on.
No, this is. I quit smoking. It's been 10 days.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm trying my best.
Have you ever worked for somebody that you were like kind of starstruck with?
Oh, all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Lucky
Like
you.
every band that you work with.
Yeah, like Dead and Company.
Yeah.
That'll do. I
but-
was about to say for sure.
Further. So getting into gig posters, like I'm a child of Wani, the Spirit of Sewanee Music
course.
Festival or Music Park, and Allman Brothers. So Allman Brothers were my be all end all. That was the only thing that my dad and I agreed on musically growing up.
Nice.
And so when I got into gig posters, the goal was to one day do an Allman Brothers poster. And one day I got the call from Greg Allman. And
Like directly or what?
Oh, no. He never saw any of the
I was
posters.
gonna say.
Yeah. But from his merchandise company.
Okay.
And I was with my wife at the time and just like read the email, I think on my phone at Publix, and was jumping up and down. And so like that was like, oh my God.
That's amazing, man.
So yeah, that was the pretty much, well, the closest I could get to doing it. And then did one for Butch Trucks shortly after. And so it's like, all right, I'm going to check that one off. Yeah.
Hell
That's
yeah.
awesome, dude.
So like any, do you notice that like people are using the same merch companies, or are they like the same companies reaching out to you for different people?
Yeah. So there's a handful of merchandise companies that handle a lot of the bigger bands. And so once you get a good rapport with them, it's like they come back to you and it's like, okay, we think you'd be a good fit for this band. And it's like, oh God, I didn't know you were working with this band. So
that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm curious, maybe, I don't know how much about it you know, but like, so they're using companies to basically fulfill their merch orders, and then they outsource some of the work, I would imagine, that they can't do in-house, and maybe the posters or flyers being one of those things.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works. So they will hire this company to handle basically all of their merchandise. And so I'm not sure what the cut is for them, but they're the ones who reach out to the individual artists and like, we would like you to do the shirt for this tour, we would like you to do this poster, and it kind of takes it away from the band. They don't have to worry about that, and they're getting their guaranteed whatever. They kind of pick and choose which artists they think would be good for the right project.
It's amazing. I can't wait to have someone do that for us.
Yeah, it would be amazing.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
the less you have to work on other stupid shit. Not saying that anything you do is stupid, but then you don't. You can focus on your own stuff.
Oh, I understand. Like that's like I wish. So like I mean I have to deal with my fulfillment, and it's not just the drawing of the poster. Like I wish I could just focus on the actual artwork, but it's the answering emails and rolling up every order that I get, and like there's a lot of time that is taken away from actually doing the artwork. And I would imagine that's the same as being in a band.
It's
you
so
have to
bad.
do all of your promotion, get your merchandise out there. And
Yeah, it's fucking brutal, man. It's like really insane how much work.
because it's not just getting up there and playing, right?
It's like literally that's like 5% of the whole thing, and I guess that's like any career that you choose. Though it's like we were our drummer Aaron was talking about. He does like mental health counseling for his day job.
That's what my wife does.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. That they might know each other. That's kind of wild. He was saying that all the stuff that goes on in the back end is like literally the part that I'm passionate about is only like 10%. That's not why I got into this field. And I was like, man, every career that you have is going to be 10% of what you're passionate about, and the rest is bullshit. But hopefully that 10% is enough to keep you there.
To keep you there, exactly.
You know, and that's what it's like. I don't know. It's just
yeah, doing the part that you love, it makes the other 90% tolerable.
exactly. And that's literally what it is for music for me, man. It's like playing shows, or really like I love being in the studio, as Billy has learned on this show.
Yeah.
And like doing that kind of stuff for me is like, this is worth all the bullshit, all like the going back and forth with artists for work at the merch companies, and then making sure like doing the inventory, making sure that all the stuff that you paid for is there, and then and then all the booking and the management and the promotion, the marketing, and then like the budgeting, and you're just like,
It's
someone
exhausting.
just give me a fucking break. Yeah, it's insane, man.
Yeah, I wish it could just be the actual art part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So what's like your day to day look like when you get a big order? Like how do you get it from the email that you received to the person?
So it's different with every project, but for the most part, it will be getting a sense of what they're looking for, asking for specific do's or do nots. Like more importantly, the do nots. Like, what do you not want on this poster? Because definitely have made that mistake before. It's
Really?
like that's the worst thing you could have done.
What was an example of something you put on there that shouldn't have been there?
Gosh,
Can I get some of that, Bill?
I'll take it back to a flyer that I did back in Gainesville, Florida, it was some punk band based out of Boston, and I drew a Boston Terrier with a mohawk. They're like, no, that's not gonna work. I'm like, oh, all right, okay.
You want some more?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, it's a
hilarious.
punk terrier. How could you not love that? That's hilarious.
That's good. Thank you. But yeah, so I'm like, oh, that was a great idea. So that's like, okay, I kind of learned pretty quickly to ask what do you not want to see on there, and that helps narrow it down. And it'll be like doing a setting up a schedule for a rough sketch. Once they approve the rough sketch, then put the colors in there and whatever, get it ready for screen printing, and then it's finding a screen printer who has availability, setting that up, getting the quantities from the band and the shipping information, if they need it signed, and then making sure that it gets to the show on time.
So you're not just doing the posters, and like you're doing like T-shirts and stuff also, and you have to be the one to fulfill those orders. Like you call the companies and you put the orders in and do all that.
T-shirt orders, they already have that set up.
Okay.
Always. Like I don't know what the difference is between T-shirts and posters, but they figure that out. Where it's like for the most part, they've got their T-shirt company already set up, and we need the design by this amount, like by this date, and then I'm done. So like, those jobs are awesome.
Yeah.
And I love a good T-shirt gig.
Yeah.
And my job is over once the design is approved.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, what's like the craziest thing you've ever had to put on a flyer?
Ooh, craziest thing, gosh, I don't know. I've definitely had some like just horrible ideas that I've had to kind of try and walk back.
Yeah. What are some of those?
But a lot of them are like, God, we need like this character in here, and we need this, and then we also need this bird flying, and then we need 3 orange blossoms, and we need 2 rabbits. Like, I'm just trying to like,
Oh my God.
where it's like, oh man, okay, let me try and incorporate all of this. And then when it's not working, then that's when you send the rough sketch in, and like I narrowed it down, and I think this is a little bit more streamlined.
And are they usually pretty receptive to that, or?
It depends.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of times, like, no, we need that 3rd shrimp.
Yeah.
So,
Third shrimp. As somebody who's do you often work with the representation, or do you work with artists directly as well?
Both.
Both.
For the bigger bands, I don't think the bands ever see it. I'm
Yeah.
just working with management and
Okay.
their representatives. But then, like, what I never wanted to stop doing was for the smaller bands, like my friends' bands or local bands. Like, I will want to keep working with them where I'm actually working directly with them, and that's a lot more fulfilling.
Really?
I think, because I get to see how they react to it when they see it, and it's like, hopefully it's what they wanted, and they're happy with it.
Yeah. So you think that the bigger bands don't even like give a final approval on the art?
Yeah, I think at a certain point, they're like, is it gonna make money? Then okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. We've signed off all that responsibility to this company.
Wow. I can't imagine being like.
I think you get used to it. I was thinking the same thing to him. Like, no, I've gotta love it. Otherwise, I'm not gonna do it. But I think once you do it one time, you're like, oh, and it's maybe this amount of money. Yeah, just whatever sells.
I will take it.
Yeah,
For sure.
That seems like the right response.
I'll just say I don't think Dead & Company has seen a single poster that I've done for them.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think they're okay with it.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So
I mean, I
much
guess
money.
that because they're also like doing like it's probably like. Are you doing like the entire tour, or are you doing it's just like
Individual,
one poster individual?
yeah.
Okay, so that's probably why they haven't seen it then.
Right.
It's like a million, it's like you're playing different cities around the country. Like maybe you're doing a 100-city tour or something, and it's like, it's 100 posters to look at. You're just like, I don't give a fuck, man. Just give me something, Yeah.
Have you started looking into what is it called, the non fungible? What's it called?
NFTs.
Oh, no.
You haven't done it at all?
tokens.
I'm too old.
Why?
I say that, but then older people are doing it. But,
Yeah.
but, no, my like scope of technology stopped with Twitter. Like
you're in graphic design, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
But you said you like to do more drawings anyways. Graphic design is just kind of like the thing that got you
Right.
work, basically.
It got me my day job, which was great. It got me out of credit card debt, which I'm back in.
Yeah.
But
Preaching to the choir, bro.
but yeah, so that was like, to make money you do graphic design, but I don't understand NFTs. And
I don't really either, but I was just wondering if you're doing it because that seems like the way that artists are really fucking making money.
If somebody could like hit me up with an idea and like a company that would make that happen for me, then
it doesn't make any sense to me. Like these little pixel arts. I'm not trying to shit on them or anything like that, but it probably took you like I don't know how long to fucking make, and they're like, this is $1 million, but it's the original.
You know,
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
And you watch it on your phone.
Yeah.
You know, it's always really interesting to listen to.
What?
3 people talk about something they know nothing about.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, that's my hot take or whatever.
It's your hot take. Yeah, I don't know I don't know enough about it to have like an opinion on how it works or anything like that. You know, I just like there's something to it, obviously, 'cause it's working for people. So I don't want to like, you know, put it down. And
It's like
because I don't know.
like digital currency, I guess. So
Yeah,
it's like you are the person who owns this, and nobody else will have it, right?
Right.
So
That's
something.
Right. Right.
And I don't know if digital currency is going to be the next thing. I didn't get into Bitcoin when I maybe should have,
I know
and
Yeah.
so now it's like maybe this is the time to strike it, but I wouldn't even know where to start.
Yeah,
So.
totally. Our bass player's super into all that stuff.
Yeah, just a little too late though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody's a little too late now.
Yeah, at this point. I remember somebody approached me about it like back in 2013 or
I know.
something.
Yeah, same with me.
They were like, hey man, so there's this new thing called
Let's get in.
Bitcoin. You should like really do it. I was like, sounds like a fucking scam to me, bro. You got
Yeah.
scammed.
Yeah.
That's back when it was like, I don't know, a couple $100 for a Bitcoin. And now it's like,
I was
you know,
way
was it
cheaper
50
than
grand
that,
or some
yeah.
shit?
You could just do it on your computer and just be like, hey, I got a couple Bitcoins today.
You mine it.
Yeah.
It takes so much energy though.
Not back then it did.
No, not back then. Yeah.
Anyways.
Nowadays, your electric bill is going to go like, you know, be
Yeah.
like through the roof. You try to
I
mine
don't
Bitcoin.
understand any of that.
Yeah,
like,
it's so wild.
Like the whole mining thing, and
Yeah.
it's like NFTs apparently cost so much energy.
Yes.
To do,
That is
and
true.
so that's why I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
That's
Because,
like-
Right, for the
Taking
planet.
a
Yeah.
stand, yeah.
Good for
Save
you.
the planet.
Yeah. So that's what I was gonna ask. Well, I thought because you were talking about that you went for graphic design. So how's your medium like? Like, how do you create your art?
Good question. So I just got new equipment about a year ago, right before we moved to Jacksonville. It's a Wacom Tablet.
A Wig'em?
Wacom.
Oh,
or
sorry. I thought you meant like.
Wacom.
Wacom.
I thought you
Yeah.
were talking about The Simpsons for a second.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So everything starts with pencil on paper for me, and then it would be inking it, scanning it into the computer, and getting it ready for screen printing, setting up one color at a time. But I used to do that with Adobe Illustrator, and basically taking my mouse and clicking around everything that I had inked in to make a shape to create that color. And so very much computer oriented. Now I've gotten this Wacom tablet where I can actually draw on the computer.
Yeah.
So I will take my pencil sketch now
I know what you're talking about.
and basically be inking on the computer. And so it's really taken everything to the next level for me.
Just straight to. It's just like drawing, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same kind of like feel those, and they're like, don't you lose some of that?
It's different, but I can magnify everything and get the detail that I was losing when I scanned in my ink drawings.
Really?
So like I would scan in my ink drawings, vectorize it in Illustrator, and lose 3/4 of the detail.
Wow.
And then build each color up behind it. Now I can actually like draw each color on its own and get it ready for screen printing. So I'm still doing layer by layer to build it, but
How long does that usually take you? Obviously, it depends on the project, but what would you say like the average for something like simple?
I used to say 3 days, 1 day to pencil, 1 day to ink, 1 day to color. Now it's like a week. Like 1 to 2 days for the pencil, another 2 days for the key line layer, just the black layer, and then another couple of days to get all the color correctly.
And why do you think your time frame? Why do you think it's kind of like it's taking longer now?
It's more detailed.
Yeah.
And now that I can get into it and get really nitty gritty with it, I'm taking the time to make it good.
Yeah.
Versus just cranking it out.
Right.
Do you ever feel bad when you make something too quickly?
I wish.
Or do you have like a point where you're like, yeah, it's fucking done.
Those are the best.
Well, yeah, because it doesn't take that long.
And it's like, yeah, I fucking nailed it. Like,
it's like writing a song in like an hour. You're just like, God damn, that was fucking easy.
But I always am like, after I do it, I'm like, I feel like I shouldn't have. I feel like I should take more time with it or something. Like, no, this is good.
Well,
I feel what you're saying.
If sometimes, my work tends to be super detailed, and that's been a critique, is that it's maybe too detailed where you don't know what you're looking at.
They can fuck off. I don't like that.
So
that was another.
So when I submit something that's maybe like a lot simpler,
yeah,
I'm like, well, they're expecting this huge thing, and it's like, but I think it's good where it's at, and then I send it, and they're like, oh, it's good. Then yeah, okay, good. I nailed it.
And that is true, because obviously, like, you're at this point, you're making stuff for clients, and so when they say it's good,
that's all that matters.
Then you don't have to. You don't. Have you ever done that before? Where it's like you send it off, and then they're like, "This is great." I'm like, "Nah, send it back. I want to change something."
Yeah.
You have done that before?
Oh no.
Yeah, of course not. Why?
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I guess he is a perfectionist.
No, it's immediately. It's like send a text to my wife. I'm like, approved. I'm like, on to the next one.
Yeah, because like I think every musician, I don't think there's one musician ever that has like recorded an album and then it been like, this is perfect, I never want to change anything, like 5 years later. Like, yeah, every single time you hear it, you're like, God damn it.
Well, that's what playing it live is for. It's like, okay, now this song has like the new life, and it's
totally.
Like,
I like the aspect of music in that way, where it's like, oh, this is over now. There's literally nothing you can do to go back to it if you're not recording it, if you're playing it live. Like, what you had is what you had. And I feel, that's a good unpopular opinion, I'm gonna say it though, is I feel like the people that have those live albums and everything like that, and then they're like, oh, we're gonna go back and like touch it up a little bit and, you know, take some stuff out. I'm like, this isn't a live album.
That's not really live. Yeah,
I think that probably every band does that though. I don't know that you've ever heard a live album that's just like the exact thing that they played live.
That's
you know what I mean?
I disagree.
I don't know, man. Because
you've never spent that much time on archive.org, obviously.
No.
That has never been touched on.
Well, then maybe there's that. But I mean, like, I'm just saying what people are putting out now.
Not by the artist, anyways. I mean, maybe you can like be like, oh, maybe turn this down a little bit here and everything like that, because maybe the sound guy was taking a smoke break and didn't get it right or something like that. But as far as like coming back in and being like, yeah, we're gonna re-record the kick on this.
Oh, no.
We're gonna re-record this guitar
that.
riff because you just, you know, whiffed it.
No, I don't think there's any of that going on, really.
I think there is.
You think there is?
Oh yeah.
Well, that kind of just destroys it. You know?
I know. That's what I mean.
That's the beauty of singing
I guess it's not
music.
an unpopular opinion. That is a definite normal opinion.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
But yeah, that's going back to what you said about how. But for yourself, though, I guess that's what I always thought was so frustrating about art. Is with music, it's just like you can just keep on like forming it. But with art, it's like if you're working on one thing, if you make a mistake, you're like, fucking, I gotta start over, right?
To a degree, yeah.
Unless you're doing it on a computer, I guess. But.
Yeah, and that's the other beauty of this new equipment that I bought, which I was so stubborn. I did not want to buy it. And it's like, no, that's all fake. But now it's like, I can really, if this idea wasn't working out, I can just erase it and go back to the pencil sketch and get it perfected again. But versus I used to ink everything and that's it. Like, so once I scan that in, like you're kind of stuck with that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. And I definitely don't have the patience for that.
Yeah.
I would be like, I want to switch this one thing. Like, there's nothing you can do unless just do it over again. And I would be like, the second rough draft, I'm out. There's no way I could do that again.
I've been learning Photoshop over the last year or whatever. And it's been at first it was like a overwhelming task to like take on, because like I'm so, even with music software, man, I'm, like I can press record and that's about it. So it's like with Photoshop, but I was determined when we started doing this podcast, I was like, I'm not going to outsource all the work because like we can't afford it. Like we just have to do it ourselves. So I started like learning it to make thumbnails, and I started using it to like make like little flyers here and there. And now I've gotten to a point where I can get something to look pretty good. Just, you know, like not great, but I mean like pretty good. But it's been like this process of like, you know, you mess something up and then you're like, wait, how do I undo that? And then like there's certain things that happen where like, well, I just have to redo the whole thing now. And it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like the level of frustration, I could throw my laptop out the window with some of the shit that's happened to me with Photoshop, you know?
Photoshop's interesting. So I work in Photoshop now, but at the very base level. So like I'm drawing in Photoshop. So if you ask me to do any filters or cutting things here and there, like I couldn't tell you what to do. Like it's a little too intense. But
so you actually like draw in Photoshop?
It is because they have this brush tool. So it's a paintbrush. And so you can actually be painting on this tablet and have it look like a painting or an illustration.
So how long do you feel like you're still working it out, like the difference between like drawing or painting on something like real versus a screen? It's got to be a different feel, right?
It is. I get for the most part, my design is done with the pencil sketch.
Yeah.
Like I get that to 90% of where it's going to end up, and it's basically just from there I can refine the pencil lines into finer details and build color behind it.
Okay. And so how do you get the pencil drawing onto the computer?
Scanner.
The scanner, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Which I have to scan into two different pieces, and then piece it together in Photoshop.
I was gonna say, because doesn't, like, if you scan it, like it has to be like perfectly on there, right? Like you can't be like crooked at all, or like.
Used to be. Now that I've got this new stuff that I can, and I'm gonna be inking it on the computer, I can get it to be close enough, and it's okay.
Yeah, that's so wild.
Which
man.
that's been a game changer.
Yeah, that's a good question. So like when you're doing these like posters like this size, I don't know, that's a 24 by 36, I think.
Yeah.
Do you do things that big?
I've done a few that big.
But when you're drawing it, I'm like, are you drawing on that big of a poster?
To scale.
So
Do it to scale.
So you just take one of those and then you wait, I'm confused.
So like I will.
I just realized I asked a stupid question. You answered it, and I'm like.
So yeah. So I got into art because I didn't like math, but I use math all the time.
Yeah. Okay.
So like I know that an 18 by 24 poster will scale down into like just less than 13 by 18.
Okay.
Something like that. So and then like just getting my coordinates correct, and then I can, once I get it into the computer, I blow it up to full size and then draw it there.
That sounds so. Oh, that
dorky and
no, it's not dorky at all.
It's to me like when you
fascinating.
we start saying stuff like that, my brain just starts to glitch. I'm just like, what do you mean, like?
No, I understand what you're saying. I was just very confused as to, so like So when you're drawing it at the beginning, you take the ratio or whatever, like the cutout, and then how big is that?
So that I have two 11 by 14 pieces of paper because that's the size of my scanner.
Okay.
And I tape it in the middle, and so I take it in on the sides, 0.5 plus a little bit more on the ruler. It's 0.5 plus 2 more dots, and then 8.5 inches on each side, so that's 17 inches, and then scan one side at a time.
All right. And then, shoot, I don't really know how to ask this question. So like you're drawing it on that size of paper always, but all your stuff that you have is so detailed. Wouldn't it, I don't know, this is a dumb question I already know the answer to. Wouldn't it be easier if it was bigger? If you were drawing on a bigger thing? Because then it wouldn't, I don't know.
So I used to draw.
Fuck me.
Killing it, Bill. Don't worry. You're doing a great job.
I think you're doing a great job.
I'm not good at art. I don't know how it works.
I used to draw at everything like full size and then would have to scan it in like
segments.
Yeah.
Oh
like,
my god.
Yes, that would suck, right?
So it got a lot easier when I decided to scale it down and just do this is half of it, this is half of it. You can just put it together in Photoshop. But it's also a little bit overwhelming to draw big. Because I don't know, like I get really close to the paper, and if I had the full size to begin with, I don't know like where it would actually go. I might get a little too overwhelmed and put way too much into it.
Okay, so more. Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I was thinking about that too, though. So like, when do you get to see your final project? So like, I'm sure you made posters this big before, like 24, 36, and everything like that. And then you get commissioned for it. So are you're making it smaller, not by much, but you are making it smaller. And then when do you get to see that final product?
So I send it out to a screen printer.
Okay.
From there, so like I get it to how I want it to look.
Yeah.
On screen, and build it to a degree where I give the screen printer pretty specific instructions, and then I'll open this package of posters up on my doorstep and hope that it came out correct. And
so you do that first. So you're not sending it out a design out. I guess you are sending out a design first, and be like, hey, this is what it's gonna look like. But you're not sending them like a test copy, right?
Right.
And then they had to be like, yeah, that'll look good on the 2x3 foot poster. And then you're the one that's gonna see it for the first time. And you're like, yeah, it's good. I'll send it off.
Yeah. No, they got to. They approve a JPEG. And then it's got to be actually printed in the final thing, and then sometimes it hasn't really worked out like I intended, and
that's what I mean. I thought that'd be
and you just have to deal with that.
Yeah. So
in what ways does it not work out?
One of my first like huge posters, and I won't say any names, but like this was when I was living in Miami, and the printer was based in Fort Lauderdale, and it was really big band playing at the stadium where the Panthers play, whatever, the BB&T Center.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, okay, this is the one, and didn't finish it until like 3:00 in the morning the night before the show, and just left them wrapped up. It was raining that night. He left them wrapped up in a garbage bag on his front door. He said, the prints are done. Go pick them up. So picked them up from the printer in Fort Lauderdale, drove back to Miami. So it's about 4:00 in the morning at that point when I opened them up finally. All the detail is gone. It's just muddy, and I'm crying as I'm signing and numbering all of these because it's like, oh my God, they're never gonna hire me again. This is a disaster. So yeah, it's definitely not worked out correct. Like the color was wrong. All the detail was lost in the print.
I didn't even think about the color light being wrong at all.
What gets lost in translation there?
So we base colors off of this universal color system, the Pantone color system.
Right.
And so if you give them a number, typically you mix the paints to be that color. But it's a imprecise science. So it's different on screen than it's actually in person. So you kind of have to let the client know it's like it's going to look like this, but it might be just a little off here and there, but it's going to look something like this. And kind of lost my train of thought there.
Oh no, it's all good. So yeah, just as far as like the coloring and like the detail and like from when.
Yeah, what doesn't come out as expected?
Yeah, so sometimes that can be off. Like it's gonna be the red is gonna be more pink or not pink enough, and so I also use overlays a lot. So I will overlay yellow on top of reds and blues in order to create an orange and a green layer, which a lot of other people don't do, but I'm able to create a lot more colors that way. Sometimes that can be off. Like it takes a really good printer to build the opacity into that overlay color.
Too,
yeah, it's got to be pretty.
So I did a print for the Pixies once, and they
I'm like losing my mind. All these band names. Yeah.
Well, they didn't hire me again.
Oh no.
The overlay layer was completely solid. Like like I gave them this like preview thumbnail JPEG, and this is how it'll turn out because the overlay is going to create these other colors, and then it was just like, nope, it is straight yellow on all, like the whole thing. It was like, oh.
Now is that your fault?
It's well, partly my fault.
Ultimately,
like,
I guess, because you have to source a printing company, right?
Well, that one they took care of their own printing, so
it's kind of their fault.
It
then,
was
right?
like
it's your fault, Pixies. Sorry.
It's totally their fault.
Yeah.
No, like I have learned that not everybody does that sort of printing, and then it's become like, okay, so we've got to really be specific. This is what I want, and explain it. And if there's anything off, like you can't do it, then okay, I'll figure something else out.
Have you ever tasted heaven in a glass? Do you pine for the hoppiest brews and palest ales? Do you like food? If so, then Wicked Barley is the oasis that your mouth has been wishing for, walking into the complete barren wasteland that is your life. Wicked Barley is located in Jacksonville, Florida, nestled on the banks of Goodbees Creek. Wicked Barley aims to provide its guests with a wicked experience, offering over 18 house-brewed beers, ciders, and meads on tap. They also have an expansive gastropub-style food menu, including burgers, salads, sandwiches, and more. Whether you are a newcomer or a craft beer connoisseur, there's a little something for everyone at Wicked Barley. Visit them at 4100 Bay Meadows Drive and tell them Bottom of the Bill sent you.
So do you have a company that you like exclusively work with that can handle your type of stuff?
I've got a few printers now.
Okay.
Like I've built a really good base of printers to work with.
Here in Jacksonville, or just like around everywhere?
I wish I would find one in Jacksonville, because that would help out tremendously. But like one of my favorite printers is in Michigan, another one's in Chicago, and then Highline's in Philadelphia. So yeah, all over the place, and a lot of shipping.
Have you checked out Grind Time at all here in Jacksonville?
No.
Chris Richard, he's a good. He was a promoter over at 1904 for a long time, and he plays drums in a band called Spore, and like you probably know him if you know Spore at all. Anyways, he has
a great name for a band. There.
Yeah, right. They were pretty big in the jam band scene for a while. But yeah, he's got a printing company called Grind Time, and they did all of our merchandise. And
did they do our posters too?
They did not do our posters. Just
why the fuck are you telling him?
Just because I didn't think to ask them
no
before
offense,
we got.
Chris.
But maybe they could do T-shirts, and I do print
T-shirts.
T-shirts too.
Okay, all
so.
right, never mind. Sorry, Chris.
I think they could do posters too. Just like there's a company that I've used here before that I just naturally went to. We just used Grind Time for the first time because they're relatively new. So
are they screen printers? Do you know? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's.
And then Matt Henderson also from plays.
Oh, he's got the best screen printing company name. It's called Printin' Tarantino.
Yeah, Printin' Tarantino.
So
yeah. Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. He was on the show as well. And I know he's been doing that a lot too. So there's some local people to reach out to and just kind of.
I don't know if he does posters or anything else, but I know he does T-shirts.
Yeah, he does a lot of T-shirts. Grind Time does everything though. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So anyway, somebody look into.
That's good to know.
Who did our posters?
What's that place? Jack's Color Design or whatever over here in Riverside. I don't know what. Just I've always used them.
They came out really good.
Yeah, the posters.
I don't know if they're screen printed or not though.
I don't know. We and I don't really know like what the artist did on his end that would have made it more difficult or less difficult. You know, we use this guy. I don't know if you know Adam Karstens. He did like a bunch of posters for Wani and like
cool.
and some other stuff. He's based out of Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
I only know him because he was I went to Wani once and he was happened to be at our campsite and he was like super cool.
It's my festival. I miss Wani so much.
Man.
I miss Aura the most, but Bear Creek.
Aura was my favorite.
Yeah, right. Me too.
It's a magical place, man. The connections I've made there, you know, just from like hanging out is just it's pretty.
You going to
amazing.
Halloween?
No.
What?
How
dare you?
It's also Florida Georgia weekend, and
That's
so
right.
now that I live in Jacksonville, it's like.
Are you a big college football fan?
Yeah, chomp chomp. I know we're playing. I think we're playing you this weekend.
I know. We're 4-0. How about y'all, though?
We're not that.
Not doing
Who do
that.
you like?
Are you serious? Go Big Blue, Kentucky all
yeah.
day.
Yeah, I see the Kentucky Wildcats record.
These colors do not run. Yeah, I've hated Florida Gators since I was born. I was conceived on the campus and born on the campus. Unless you take Kentucky, so.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I moved down here when I was 15 or so, and we still hadn't won. We had the longest losing streak against a team in college football history against the Florida Gators.
That's literally all you guys got.
31 years, and I won, and that was the year I was born. I'm 32 now. So we won. Well, no, it was a little bit. It was 30 years. We won after 30 years when I was 30 years old.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's quite a reputation
Well,
you guys
he
have.
enjoys it. I love football.
No, I know. I'm just saying that just for you as a person
What?
being from Kentucky,
Yeah.
it's a pretty bad reputation you guys have.
Oh, we're not good at football. We're good
They're
at basketball.
amazing at basketball,
Yeah.
though,
And you guys got real good horses.
And bourbon.
and good
And
bourbon.
I
Yeah.
love your bourbon. Buffalo Trace is my favorite.
That's from
No,
Frankfurt, yeah.
yeah, no offense to Makers. It's good, cheap bourbon,
Makers is
but-
very nice.
It's
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah, it's best for the price, but I mean Buffalo Trace, Woodford. I love Woodford also.
That's where I went to school, Woodford County.
That's where you went to school.
Mhm. I was gonna say I was thinking that's what I'm gonna be for Halloween.
A bottle of Makers.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That was gonna be cool, right?
That's hilarious.
Yeah. I'm thinking.
You already have the red hair and everything for the top.
All right, come on. Yeah. But yeah.
Billy's a ginger in denial.
Yeah.
He will never accept that he's a ginger, but he's got a lot of freckles and he's
Yeah.
got red hair.
It's
So.
not a bad thing.
No, that's not bad.
At least you have hair.
Yes, I
So.
do. That is true. I do have a lot of hair. Very hairy man. Anyways, great. At
Oh, you know what? I
doing
haven't spoken. It's kind
About?
of off topic, but like
What do you wanna talk about?
we haven't spoken about it, and I feel weird that we haven't spoken about it. And Norm Macdonald died. Isn't that like a?
Why did you gotta? I haven't thought about that in like 2 days.
I'm just saying that like I know he's like we haven't talked about it and we hang out all the time. I know he's like your favorite comedian. It's just
Yeah.
weird that we haven't brought it
favorite
up.
like person to ever live. Honestly.
Yeah. Wasn't that? That's kind of
That
sucks.
I never ever listened to podcasts until he had. Have you ever seen his show that he has?
Norm
Or he
Macdonald
had
has-
it. The Netflix show is pretty okay, but
It's
like
kinda funny.
It's pretty funny, but his YouTube, it's all on YouTube. The Norm Macdonald show. I can't remember what it's
Norm
called.
Macdonald has a show.
No, that's the Netflix
That was the
one.
Netflix
one.
one.
But
Yeah.
it's on YouTube and it's way funnier. But he had a
Okay.
lot of famous people on there. But he's I was like, I want to do this. This is freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
My favorite thing that he does, well, we do the unpopular opinions at the end of the show, but he does jokes that he's written, and he'll do like a kind of like normal joke, and then his guest has to read a joke that he's written, and it's like the dirtiest, fucked up joke you've ever heard.
Yeah, that's great. He does that on the Netflix show sometimes too. He did it with Jane Fonda.
Yeah, my favorite joke that he did was he goes, the airline tickets are soaring right now, but do you know whose company is not doing well? 9/11 Airlines. And then he just goes, and everyone starts laughing. He just keeps a straight face. He goes, reminds me of that horrible tragedy. Rest
a
in
fucking-
peace. He's my fucking favorite person ever doing this.
I was just watching his stand up.
It's a joke, by the way. Sorry.
Oh, are you being serious?
No, of course not. I'm laughing. Some people might think I'm being serious. I'm not.
I was just watching his stand up the other day.
Stand-up's
just to,
really, really good too.
pretty good. Yeah, it's funny.
I think he invented Weekend Update and everything that everybody. That's all
on
anybody
SNL.
cares about.
No,
on
he
SNL
didn't
too.
invent Weekend Update.
He didn't?
They were
Pretty sure
doing
he did.
Chevy
Yeah.
Chase was doing that like back.
Oh, he
Dan
did?
Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd. And
Yeah.
Never mind.
Well, it's-
Jane, you ignorant slut.
Yes.
Oh, that's
So
right.
good.
Yeah, he's
Jane, you
definitely
ignorant
after
slut. It's so good, bro. And then she comes back, and fires off on him. Like nobody talks about that though, right? Because like it's always that one moment that gets it, but then she fires back and she comes so hard where you're just like, yo, she like wrecked. I don't know. It was really good writing.
I haven't seen it. I don't know what you're talking about.
SNL.
No, that one.
You should check it out.
No, I know the Jane, you ignorant slut one, but one where she comes back, I haven't seen.
No,
that.
it's on the. It's literally right after.
That was the retort.
Nobody talks about. I don't know why she doesn't get more credit for it.
She was great in Third Rock from the Sun.
I never really watched The Rock from the Sun.
I wasn't allowed to.
You weren't allowed. Oh, because it was secular.
Yeah, very secular.
Oh. He's from Kentucky.
Born and raised. Won't fight about it.
South Florida is like there's like a lot of religion there, but there's so many people where it's like it's easy to not find it. You know what I mean? It's like I worked at Sam Ash in Miami, and we had like the gospel drummers would come in and just fucking go to town, and they were like local celebrities.
Yeah, we didn't have that.
But it was weird though, because I discovered I discovered how big the church community was in Miami when I started working there at Sam Ash. But like I was also involved in the music scene in the Tri-County area from Dade County to Palm Beach, and never even realized that there was like a religious community at all. So it's like there's just so much going on where you can not be around it, or if you really want to find it, it's like there for the taking. You know, it's kind of wild.
And all the religions are down there too.
Yeah, totally. I was just in Turkey for I was there for 2 weeks. I have 2 cousins that live out there, and my cousin was getting married, so we went out for the wedding, and so we figured, you know, if we're gonna go to Turkey, we're gonna spend some time and really get the most out of it, you know. And what a beautiful country, but I mean, Istanbul is the most chaotic city I've ever been to in my life. It is like.
How many people you said live there? It's something crazy amount of people.
So 20 million on the books.
That's ridiculous.
But not taking into account Syrian refugees and other immigrants from Arabic countries.
That's almost 3 times the size of New York.
If you and you know what? If you take the chaos of New York and LA, and then with like the structure of San Francisco, and then combine it all and then multiply it by like 100, that's the chaos that is Istanbul. Not in a bad way, but it was just when I love big cities. I loved New York, LA. I loved when I was in Miami. I loved like being in that environment. But that doesn't hold a candle to what goes on in the traffic, and like there's no rules on the road. There's no traffic.
You ever been to
cops.
Daytona on spring break, dude?
Don't even. It's insane. But it was. But going back to the religious thing, the predominant religion there is Islam, and they do 5 times a day. They do these prayers, and it is just like it's a culture shock when you come from America to there, and like it was like
they have like bells ringing from clocks to let you know, right?
But it's just prayers. So it's like it's blast throughout this through speakers throughout the entire
that's what
city.
I meant, sorry.
And they and it's very loud, and they do them. So the first one's at like sunrise.
Mm-hmm.
So you know the first night that we were there, it's an 8-hour difference. So I was like not going to bed till like 4 a.m, and so I finally get to sleep. And they also don't use AC a lot of the time there. So there's no AC in the Airbnb. So I'm just the windows are open, got a nice cool breeze going through. It's like 4 a.m. I finally get to sleep, and at 5 a.m. the prayer comes on, and I was like. I woke, what the fuck is going on? And I was like, oh, it's just a prayer. Okay, let me shut these fucking windows and go back to sleep. It is so loud.
Yeah. My honeymoon was in Indonesia during Ramadan.
Oh, wow.
And our first night there, our flight got delayed and everything, so we're checking in like right when it's like time to go to bed. As soon as we fall asleep, it's the prayer starting.
Oh, they do it there too.
The very first night, it was like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. Like I can really, really zone out to this. This is how lucky are we to be experiencing this. And then by night 3, it's like,
shut the fuck up. Yeah. You guys need to be reminded of God 5 times a day.
Now, do they take a day off?
No, it's every day.
Every single day.
It's every day.
That's crazy.
And I was reading.
You ever see someone do it on an airplane before?
No.
I've seen that.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's dedication.
Yeah,
right
they'll
there.
bring a rug on.
You gotta
there,
respect it.
And
yeah,
they do
totally.
it like right on the clock, and then you're supposed to face Mecca. I remember that.
How do they know? They just have a compass with them.
It's just if you're on the west side of it, you face east. East side, you face west.
Oh, okay,
Not that hard to figure out.
It's
Don't look at the sun, but around where it's at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you gotta figure out where it is.
Yeah, I guess when you're that high, it's like I get so turned on a plane. I have like no idea where I'm like what direction I'm going.
That is true. They probably Okay, I get it.
But why'd you guys go to Indonesia for your honeymoon? It seems like not a regular destination.
Bali.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But we got like we booked this tour to see like all the spots and flew into one city, and then like I think it was Jakarta, were like the main city, and then got to see like what was great on the main island, and then ended in Bali and like got to see all the temples. And as an artist, like it's fantastic, you know, and different culture.
Yeah, totally, man. I feel like it's definitely necessary to get that culture shock.
Mm-hmm.
So we flew into Athens first, and we spent like 2 days there because it was just way cheaper to fly into Athens than it is to Istanbul. And
so then you got to see Greece too.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of Greece. I wish we had more time there, but we did a lot. We went to the Acropolis, and Athens has an amazing nightlife. I love it, the food was great, and
Like Greek food.
but it's not obviously not the same thing that you'd get here.
Recipes don't be talking. I miss him so much. It's like my entire personality is him.
Yeah. So when we were there, though, I felt like most people speak English. The food is stuff similar you can get in America. A lot of the nightlife is similar to what you get here. And so I was like, this is very cool. The architecture is different and it's cool, but like I don't feel like I'm like immersed in another world, And then we went to Istanbul, and I was like, this is what I was looking for right here. Nobody speaks English. The architecture is just way different. Just the chaos of the city, and I love that there was there's really no traffic cops there, So it's like you can it's kind of just like do whatever you do, and born of that is the most skilled drivers you've ever seen in your life. We were taking taxis everywhere, and day one there, I was freaking out because they're like riding people's asses, going in and out, here's like a bus here and a bus here. They're just going right between the two buses, shit like that. And you're like, what is happening right now? And then by like day 3, I was like, oh, they know what they're doing. Yeah. We're good. I don't have to worry. I didn't see one car accident when I was out there. 20 million people on the books. Yeah. Not one car accident I didn't see.
They're all just working with it and riding that wave.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. It's amazing.
I got culture shock when I moved away from Kentucky. You can drop me off anywhere.
Billy went to Miami a few weeks ago. That was a culture shock for him also.
I'm sure. That was the third time that I've been there.
Yeah.
Or third or fourth, actually. And I love Miami.
Well, the second time you went there, you didn't really go. We were recording in Pompano Beach, and he tells everyone he was in Miami.
Yeah.
It's like not the same.
Well, that was kind of a joke.
Miami.
Yeah, I know it's not. But I love Miami. We stay in Cayocho and that area. I'm sorry, not Cayocho. It was like literally right next to
Little
the
Havana
street. It was like Cayo Uno.
Yeah.
That was a great joke. But it was. We stayed on First Street, and we were so close to Wynwood, and that was my favorite spot.
Yeah, Wynwood's cool.
It's pretty nice. I wouldn't recommend walking around there at night, and we did and went down the wrong street, and that was fucking creepy as fuck.
You just got to know what street you're walking down.
Yeah, stay in the the area where there's shit going on.
Where there's street lights.
Yeah.
There weren't any. It was I took a bad wrong turn, but I really liked it down there. The first time that it was the first time that I went there. I got a penthouse suite.
Yeah, downtown. That was dope, though.
It was dope, but that's not immersing yourself in anything except for like I'm looking at it from.
Well, that's the real Miami culture. There is
really?
The high-rise penthouse suite.
Yeah,
that's just like that is Miami.
And
but
also,
I'm not that.
No. Here's why you're that, because no one there is that, right?
Oh, right.
That's the thing about Miami is that everyone's putting on like this image, but like really you work nighttime security at Target or something, but like you're going out to South Beach spending $50 entrance fee, buying drinks for everybody, and like that was like your one outing for the year.
Mm-hmm. I like Miami. All I will say is that it's like the most expensive place I've ever been in my entire life, and I couldn't believe like at one of these restaurants that I was at that they were like, oh, it's an 18% service charge, and that goes to the bussers and the cooks. I'm like, cool. So the people that really should get the money, great. And then they were just looking at me like waiting for me to sign the check for a tip.
So you should add more to it. Yeah.
I'm like, for you, because you walked from here to there and back.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm shitting on servers. They do a hard job, but
I could get used to the service.
that was what I did forever.
yeah.
They don't really tip that much in Europe, which is pretty amazing.
No, they don't do it at all, I thought.
I mean, they round
do it
up.
at- Do you
They
do it
get
in
a
Turkey?
good hourly wage there.
Yeah, they get a good hourly wage there. We tipped because we're Americans, and in good conscience, I couldn't leave the place without tipping.
Yeah.
One place I even went to, we didn't have any extra lira on us, which is like the cash there, and I was like, I literally went back like 5 hours later, and I was like, hey man, here you go for earlier, I'm sorry. And he was just like,
It's so sweet.
okay. It was like literally, like right across from our Airbnb side. It wasn't like that much of a thing for me, but it was, and like the lira is so the conversion rate is insane. It's like 8 lira per dollar. So it's, and things are already cheap there. So it's like, 50 lira for, like a meal, and you're just like, are you fucking serious?
You're a Leo, right?
Huh?
No, you're a Taurus. I need a.
Someone needs to fucking take this guy to school.
It was a joke, man. Hey,
Obviously.
but I feel like if you were in one of those places and they knew that you were American, they were like, "Oh fuck, we're getting extra money." They're gonna feel guilty about tipping us.
No, that
I know
is,
they're gonna do all the other stuff to like it kind of get you in because like maybe like, oh, there's some stigma that Americans got a lot of money when in reality.
Well, no, the thing is,
1% of us do, and that's it.
Did you experience like the hustle in Indonesia? Everyone's trying to like sell you the thing. It's like they're out front of their stores, like, hey, come in here. Like it's overwhelming.
Yeah, chasing you back to the bus. Like,
Yeah, that kind of shit. You're just like, yo, get the fuck out of my face. The thing is, like, euros are worth more than the dollar is, but it's like from, I don't know, like Germany to Turkey is like $100 plane ticket, But if you're an American and you flew to Turkey, they're like, oh, this is a pricey ticket. Like, you have money. So it's like, even though the euro is worth more, they still want the American dollars.
Why didn't you just pretend you were British or something?
I realized that I should have. Halfway into it, my sister was like, let's just be like Australian or something. This one guy thought I was Australian. We don't even have an accent. They don't know the difference. I was like, okay. Bro, it's seriously, because like the tourism there is all, it's all like from Arabic countries or like Russia. It's like not American.
It's closer. That makes sense.
Yeah, so it's like there's not like a lot of Americans there. So like they don't, when they think that you're from Europe or something. They have no idea. You say America, they're like, okay, here we go.
Why'd you say that?
Because I'm an honest human being, and that's just like I didn't feel right telling them.
Reptilian confirmed.
Yeah, he thinks I'm a reptilian.
No, confirmed. I said.
No, it's not confirmed by anybody. Who's it confirmed by? You?
Yeah, and the Illuminati.
And the Illuminati. Yeah. Yeah. I was trying to make a joke, but didn't come to my mind quick enough.
What's your blood type?
I don't know, actually.
Okay. Because apparently I am an alien, according to my blood type.
Really?
You got
Yeah.
like a super rare one?
It's the universal donor.
Oh, like
So
Mad
O
Max.
O negative?
O
Yeah.
negative.
Yeah.
I think that's what I am too, actually.
So according to the Illuminati and whatnot, we're of this higher being.
It
So you
tastes
are-
no. It tastes real good by reptilians.
So
And they sacrifice you.
So you're a reptilian then? You
Nah,
kind of got a
I think
reptilian
I'm an
vibe going
alien,
on.
Nah,
I
he's-
think you
he's
got like an
alright.
alien vibe
I
going on.
gave him an ocular pat down. He's fine.
He gave him an ocular pat down.
Yeah, he's
That's good.
he's definitely not a reptilian. There's nothing about you that doesn't look like that you're hiding a second row of teeth or a tail.
That looks like I'm
Another
hiding.
eyelid.
Yeah.
Yeah, you already know.
Is that like the funniest phrase of all time? Is ocular pat down? That's like
That's from
I know,
It's Always Sunny. Yeah.
It's like the most genius thing
No,
ever.
I
though.
bet.
Give him the
I bet. I
ocular.
got him. I love that show too.
We got way off of art and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That was boring anyway.
It's not boring. It was actually really fascinating. I felt like a little kid, just be like, so when you draw stuff, is it fun? What's your favorite color? I wonder if is that an annoying question to be asked by idiots? What's your favorite color?
Well,
What's your least favorite color? Nobody ever talks about that.
Ooh, yeah. Maybe
Ooh,
don't
I
say
don't
a couple
know.
of colors. We're getting you canceled. Anyways.
I would say yellow is the most important color.
Really?
In my palette, just because that's my overlay color, so it creates a bunch of other colors that I print over top of.
All right. Yeah, it's a primary color.
There's other
like
primary colors though, right?
There's two more.
What are they?
You don't know? They taught it that in for like
Is it
third
red?
grade. Oh, that's one.
And blue.
There you go.
Yeah, I got it.
And those are the pigment colors, and then the light colors are cyan, magenta. I don't know the last one.
What was that?
Was it yellow again?
Well, I think it's yellow.
Yeah, it's yellow.
Yeah,
Yellow's the most important color. That just makes sense.
I think the primes might be RGB.
RGB.
Red, green, and blue.
No, I thought it
I'm
was
the
like,
worst. I'm the worst designer. I don't know my
Well, yeah, it's
fucking
like
color wheel.
I don't know. I don't
with
know
those
theory.
with
so
those
there
three
you go.
colors, you make every other color. I remember that.
Yeah.
CMYK,
That's just-
you can make everything. That's cyan, magenta, yellow, and black.
Can we talk
Oh.
about what the color spectrum thing in Photoshop does? 'Cause I don't fucking get that at all.
What do you mean?
When you start moving, it's like, okay, here's like, you have like the red one here, but the red like goes to like yellow, or depending on what side you move it to, it does like different things.
You ever seen a
But
rainbow?
like, it doesn't change, like it doesn't actually make the image more of that color. It kind of like brings out certain features that are within that color
Like
spectrum.
your midtones and your highlights
Yeah.
and whatnot.
I don't-
Yeah, that's where I kind of draw the line with
Yeah.
things. It's like, oh, okay, I didn't pick that swatch at the begin with, and then I try and like just maneuver it to be a little bit here or there, and it can get, I can lose everything.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's why that kind of stuff's so overwhelming. It's like music software is the same way. You start like diving into like the little things, and you're just like, I don't even know what this, like what's this word even mean? You know? It's like, I don't know. It's just crazy. I just want to play music. You know?
I thought you
Well,
liked.
you're good at that, so.
I have my moments.
I thought you liked all that studio stuff.
I do. I like playing. I like hearing ideas and telling the button pusher what to press.
So you don't want to be a producer.
No, I want to be a producer. I don't want to be an engineer.
Oh, that's what I meant. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know the difference sometimes.
Yeah, well, engineers press the buttons. They know how to use all the fancy stuff, and I'm
They
just the
drive
asshole
trains.
that has really good ideas that tells them what to do. And they love me.
Well, that's important.
Yeah. I can't. Our engineer Jason Sadewi down Dogmatic Recording Studios is the most patient human being on the planet. We have this one video that I put out on the Side Hustle page a few months back with Billy and I just going back and forth, and it was clipped down to about 2 minutes, but that was like a 10-minute thing. It was just like, actually it was probably longer than that because we were doing it the whole time you were recording keys, so it was probably a few hours. And Jason just sitting there. It's like, whatever you got. Yep. All right. Press the button. Okay, here we go again. I was like, bro, we're like arguing, and you're just sitting here laughing at us, and then just like not making a fuss about anything. I've worked with engineers in the past where they're just like, okay, man, this is like your third take. Do you have it or what? Because we're wasting time. Like, that's the worst energy to be around in the studio. Jason's just like hanging out, like, whatever you guys want. 12-hour workday, no problem. You know, it's amazing. It's like a hard dynamic. Like, the engineer becomes like the fifth member of the band for the time that you're there, and they have to put up with a lot of shit, you know.
But then eventually you get it to where you want it to be, right?
Oh yeah, totally. And like, if you have a good engineer, they'll deal with the band dynamics, and they you know, they
They've
become
seen
that
it.
member.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, or they don't, and then there's assholes, and then like you're just in this position where, well, this album's gonna suck because we don't vibe with the guy, you know, or the girl. 2021, right?
Or them.
So
Or them. 2021.
So yeah, I don't know. It's crazy, man. But
Yeah. Well, welcome back. Also.
yeah, can I just say, fucking daddy's home, bro.
Yeah.
What happened
Daddy's
in the last
home? Is
podcast?
that what you said?
All
You
kinds
let
of
me.
shit.
You let me do it on my own. I
Yeah, I
crushed
know,
it.
and that was
Did you?
just-
I'll show you a clip, but it's fucking hilarious.
It was
we got,
good.
We had a friend of ours, Stephen Hona. Do you know him? He plays for Greenhouse and Coppertown Band.
And Spore.
And Spore. He's a real tall, crazy dress looking dude, but he came here to be on the podcast as my co-host, and then we had a music video and took a break, and then he came back dressed up as him and acted like him the whole
Put
time.
with a No Fear tattoo on his arm and everything. It's so good.
It was so great. It was his idea too, not mine.
There was all this, but it was
It was. I promise.
it was a good episode, but there was like all this, like they were asking like they were talking about like legitimate things. Which first off,
What?
my emails are fine.
What are you talking about?
You made you talked about like because I gave him the login stuff for the band email while I was gone.
yeah.
And he's like,
Well,
they're just like so impersonal and this and I'm
No,
like,
yeah.
I'm like. Yeah, I've been doing this for a long time. I think I know how to write a fucking email. They're
No,
good
I get it.
emails,
It's-
and also
They're not good emails.
they're great emails.
No, they're not.
Do we not get booked or do we get booked?
Do they get canceled or not get canceled?
Well, that's COVID's not my fault, right?
Yeah, that is true.
But there's
Maybe it is. I don't know. Where
Maybe
you
it is my
been? You
fault.
going to different countries and shit?
There's a lot of like things that are being talked about and questions that are being thrown around,
Yeah.
and answers that you had where I was like, this you're wrong, and the questions I have answers to, and no one's answering the questions.
All
I'm
right.
just
Well,
like,
what's one of them?
I can't remember. I was listening to it on the car ride home, so it was like I wasn't able to like take notes down.
But yeah, the impersonal emails. I'm very anal when it comes to grammar and any sort of situation like that. So like I write like a fucking like MPA like approved or sorry MLA. That's what it's called, right?
Is that college degree
I
working
think so.
hard for you?
Yeah. So I was pretty good at writing.
One
but
semester.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'll write like a real good one semester, and I flunked out, but and it was music school, so yeah, that's great. I mean, it's true. That's what happened. Yeah, I read the emails. I'm just like, all of these are just one like sentence.
That's what they want.
It doesn't even have a greeting.
It has a green at the end. Best regards, Anton LePlume. My phone number at
That's
the bottom. Side hustle website. That's what they want, man. They don't have time to sit through a paragraph of like pleasantries. Like nobody's into that.
You gotta get to the point.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Hey, my name's Anton LePlume. I represent a band called Side Hustle out of Jacksonville. We're planning a tour for our album release. These are the dates we're looking for. Here's links, and I give them the website.
You don't even say please.
They don't say please to
That
me
was a
either, bro.
joke. That was a joke. Please book our band.
You should see some of the emails I get back. Okay.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean.
It's like here.
Yep, I know
it's
that
like,
one.
Or just like here's just the date.
Yeah.
It's like okay. Or I'm not gonna name the venue, but recently there was a spot that we were trying to get booked at, and the talent buyer that I was talking to, this guy must have just not been all there or something, because like his responses, I wish I could pull him up right now. Like one of his responses was like, "I'll get back with you. I'm at the dentist." I'm like, this is an email, right?
That's what I mean. That's what it sounds like. Just a bunch of like just awful text messages back and forth.
Yeah, it's terrible. Like I used to do the pleasantries thing, try to be as personable as possible.
Well, I don't think you've ever worked in an office before. I think that's my deal.
I haven't.
I have like for 10 years.
I've worked in an office.
Well, I'm just saying like when you write emails, you can't write that kind of stuff.
No, of course not. I worked for a small music store in Fort Lauderdale called Ant Hill Music, and we did mostly online sales. And I was the customer service rep for, but like I would do all the emails and stuff, and I learned how to write great. I did a lot of damage control, and I wrote really good emails, and I did the whole thing. But like, it's not the same thing when you're writing an email to a talent buyer.
Yeah, it's
You
like
need be
talking
very
to a
short.
caveman.
Yeah,
It's
or
awful.
a computer. They get hundreds of emails every week, if not more, of some of the bigger talent buyers.
It's just weird to me, I guess. That's all I was trying to say.
Yeah, so
And I'm gonna poke fun if you're not here. I'm like, that's what's gonna happen. Maybe
That's
don't
why-
go to another country and then tell me to keep doing the podcast.
yeah, no, I
Lesson
thought
learned.
it was it was great, but there was moments where I was like, oh my god, these are all things that I need to be here for. This is my world that we're talking about now.
I didn't train wreck anything.
No, it was great, man. I was just saying there's like reaching out to different markets to try and get booked, or like certain things that were like nobody had the answer to, and I was like, oh my god, this is my bread and butter right here.
That's where you would have stepped in.
Yeah, and I would have had like legitimate answers for the listener and for Nat and Steve who were looking for answers, and you were just like, yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah.
I'm just like, bro, what are we doing here?
I don't fucking
I
handle
guess
that.
we'll never know.
I guess we'll never know. How do we get booked in another city? I guess we'll never know.
I told him to do show swaps.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, but there was other things too.
Then what's the fucking problem?
We'll listen to the whole thing. We'll listen to the whole
I don't
thing
need to listen to
together,
the
and
whole
I'll
thing.
point
I
it out
did.
to you.
I was there. You weren't. You were having a vacation.
I was having a great time in Turkey. Excuse me, my first vacation in the 6 years we've been doing this fucking band. So
Is that
I
true?
took a vacation last year during COVID though. We weren't even working, we were doing the podcast.
Where'd you go?
I went to Helen, Georgia for like 4 days.
Oh, all right.
That was awesome. You ever been to Helen, Georgia?
No.
Cool little Dutch town in it's about an hour and a half north of Atlanta. And
I should have gone, but
it's beautiful. Yeah, it's kind of like St. Augustine, but instead of Spanish, it's Dutch. And I don't know like how authentic it is. Like I don't know how old the infrastructure. Like St. Augustine, some of the buildings are really old. I don't know if Helen's like that, but it's got the whole very gimmicky Dutch thing going on. It's
What's
very
a
cool.
Dutch thing? Like
It
German?
It looks like a little German town in the middle of the mountains. It's like
I was thinking like windmills and tulips.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are there a lot of like wooden windmills there?
No, it's a lot of like.
I think you meant German.
Yeah, it's more German. Dutch German.
Deutschland. No, that's two different countries.
Is it different?
Yeah, that's the Netherlands or Holland, and that if you're from there, you're called Dutch. But if you're from Germany, you're called German.
It's all the same thing.
So you
right,
can say Germantown.
Germantown. So
beer and pretzels.
Yeah.
A lot of that, sausages and the whole thing.
Later Hosen.
But it's it's very cool little town. We got a little cabin in the mountain, and then we would just kind of like go into town and whatever, do some hiking during the day, and it was just a beautiful place.
Really?
They have like the longest zip line in the country there, which we did that, which is pretty fucking dope.
No.
4 days in Helen. You don't need 4 days, though. You could probably do it in 2. But it's a cool town.
I want to go on vacation again in Thanksgiving. I think we're gonna go to Asheville.
Cool.
Asheville's cool.
You've been there before?
Yeah.
I've played there so many times.
Yeah, we played there.
And I'm like the biggest fan of Bob Moog and like everything that he ever did. The Moog Factory's right in downtown.
Never been to the factory.
I've never been. Because
we were literally standing out front of the factory one time.
I've always walked outside of it, like, where are we in? But no, you can't ever get in because they close at a normal time, and we're only there for like
a few hours,
and then play the show and then we're out. So I really want to go.
I like Asheville a lot. It's a cool town.
Nice.
I like West Asheville a lot though. Downtown's cool, but it's a little touristy, West Asheville's got like this kind of riverside vibe to it, more low key, but like still pretty hip. I like it. You been up there a lot?
Went to the last 2 Christmas jams.
Okay, nice.
What's that?
That was
Warren
the
Haynes.
Warren Haynes Festival.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I
And
didn't
then
know
they
had
took.
Did you do the artwork for that?
I've done a couple of Christmas jam posters.
Dope,
dope.
man.
So I mean that's incredible. Just this big time jam, like all these musicians coming from all over the country just to play 1 to 2 nights, and but we got snowed out both years, and then the next year they were like, yeah, we're gonna not do Christmas jam this year, and then COVID hit, so we went to the last 2 Christmas jams. So.
They should do Christmas jam in Florida where it doesn't snow.
For real, right?
Yeah, it's like, come on, guys.
It's just smart thinking.
Yeah.
I do Christmas karaoke every year.
Where do you do that?
I do that at Green Room Brewing. It's at the beach. I used to live at the beach before I moved over here, and I just play like Christmas songs on piano, kind of like Schroeder and like Charlie Brown. I do the whole Charlie Brown Christmas thing. Yeah, you love it.
Okay, we're there.
And then after that, then I'm like, you sign up on a sheet of paper, and then you do karaoke with me playing, but it's Christmas carols, so I call it karaoke. And it'll be my 6th one. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna go.
Yeah,
this year.
for sure.
Yeah.
We usually did it on Christmas Eve every year, we did it so that people that were like going that either came back to Jacksonville or didn't have family, because I never got to go back home during Christmas Eve, so we would do it then. But I think we're gonna move it to like a normal day so that more people can do it this time around.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd like to go check it out too.
Yeah, you should come. It'd be great. You could sing. What would be your song?
I wouldn't do any of the songs. I just want to watch.
Oh, you just want to watch me do it?
Yeah.
All right.
I
love doing it.
I
It's
can
a lot
never
of
go
fun.
because like my family's Cuban, so we celebrate like Noche Buena and do that. So I go home and do that. Christmas Eve is like the day that we celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
So he's always doing it on Christmas Eve. I'm like, I'm not gonna.
A lot of people say that, and then Carrie finally like convinced me. It was like, "Why are you doing it on Christmas Eve? Nobody can show up." I was like, "That's the whole point of Christmas Eve, and like everybody is either here with their family, or they don't have a place to go." That's what I was
Right.
doing. So
No,
we're gonna
that's
do
a good
party.
idea,
And
for
we're
sure.
gonna get DJ 7 to spin afterwards.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, it's gonna be a party, a Christmas party instead of a whole deal.
Nice.
I'm announcing it now, but we don't know what day yet. Probably a Tuesday, probably a Tuesday night or something like
Good
that.
way to announce it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is like a soft announcement.
Soft announcement. We'll get back to you with the details.
A hint.
There's a place in LA that I went to one time. I couldn't walk in because it's a store that's just like they don't have regular hours of operation. They just open whenever they want and they don't tell people.
I like the cool stuff store.
Is that what it's like?
They're like, I guess we'll be open this weekend. I don't know.
It literally says it on the door though. It's just like we open whenever we want.
We feel like it.
And we don't announce it. So just whenever you're here. And but the people that know, that's such an LA thing to do. Also, it's like look how cool we are. We don't even have to announce when we're open. People are just gonna show up. You know what I mean?
It sounds like Miami.
I know,
right?
right?
It sounds so Miami.
It really is. Like LA and Miami are like the same place, but like LA's got like a reason to be that way. You know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
Miami. No,
It's just like
not
no,
so much.
you're like the jealous like younger brother. That's what Miami is.
Do you want to? When I went to Miami for vacation, we went to the Vizcaya Gardens. Did you ever go to that?
Oh yeah,
I didn't even know it was there, and I'm just like, holy fuck, this is so close to
Yeah,
downtown.
Vizcaya.
And everything, this giant mansion. Sorry.
Yeah.
Brain broke for a second, but it's gorgeous. The
They would-
gardens are ridiculous.
They would have the Ren fairs there.
Oh, that makes
and
sense. Yeah.
I haven't
Yeah.
been there since I was a kid. I
It's
barely
so-
remember it.
It's
pretty magical.
It's so huge too. It just keeps on going, and there's like all these like nooks and crannies of like these gardens. That it's like looks like some guy with like OCD is like, I'm gonna make another garden. I'm gonna make another garden, like attached to everything. And then it just lines up right to like a condo building in the back. They got it all like blocked off. You can't see it really, but
That's where I used to live. I used to live like
right over there?
two buildings down.
no shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so you definitely know about it. But yeah, I would recommend anybody going to Miami, like, just go to do that. It's a
Yeah.
little expensive. I think it was like, I think it was like $25 a person to go, but it's worth it.
It's worth
totally
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I have to check it out again. I haven't been in so long.
I'll go with you.
All right,
That's what Carrie says all the time. It's like New Jersey slang. I'll fucking go with you.
I'll fucking go with you.
No, not with you.
With you,
With you.
I'll fucking go
I'll
with
fucking
you.
go with you.
That's so funny. All right, well, you guys want to get to unpopular opinions?
Yeah, this is a great episode.
Yeah, for sure, man. Thanks for being on again. This is a lot
Thanks
of
for
fun.
having me.
Yeah, this is the first time we've had somebody who's not like a musician, I guess, like, or we had like promoters, I guess, on and like some managers,
Yeah,
but we
we've
haven't
had
had
a
an
lot of
artist.
people that weren't
We haven't had an
musicians.
like an artist on before. Though.
No,
You're-
Out-
you're the first artist.
Outskirts of the industry.
Yeah, but
One of the coolest parts, though.
yeah, totally.
And in my opinion, still technically a performer because you're still presenting art.
and one of the
So,
most important parts
same,
too, man.
Same fucking ballpark.
I can't for us, like when I like one of the biggest things I get like overwhelmed with is like when we're going on the road or have like a big show coming on. It's like, what are we doing for artwork, and like what's that going to look like, and how are we going to make it like fit within the overall brand of the band? You know, it's like those are all things you got to think about, and I think that you guys play a big role in that.
That was one thing I was gonna ask. That's the only question that I was like definitely asked this question. I just remembered it was like, have you made album artwork before?
Oh yeah.
I'm just figured you
Yeah.
did. So that was my 8-year-old question. What's your favorite album cover?
That.
Not that you did.
Not that I've done,
Yeah.
because none of them. God, favorite album cover. Shit, there's like this Blue Oyster Cult live album that's like straight out of the apocalypse, where it's fantastic. I like drawing a blank at the name of it right now, but
Who have you done album art for?
just finished up one for the Hip Abduction.
Nice.
So great.
It's such a great album too. And then did one for Caviar and Grits. They're this like cool like Erykah Badu-ish kind of band out of
Nice.
Philadelphia.
I love that.
Done some bigger ones now that I can't really think of.
Drawing a blank on
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I feel you.
It's tough when you're asking me questions, you know.
Yeah,
No, I know.
I know you're like on the spot. I get it.
I was just thinking about it. I was like, yeah, album artwork. And I was like, I bet he's got a favorite one. I'm gonna ask that question.
I don't know what my favorite album art
Hard
is.
and hidden question. I don't know. All I can think of is Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon right now. Because I'm an idiot. I like the.
Well, it's
the-
iconic. Well, yeah, the one that you've got the poster of
Oh,
right
that's
there.
That's
yeah.
without a doubt. That's like my favorite. But it's not a painting. It's a picture, right?
Right.
You know
Is
what I mean?
that guy
On fire.
He
yeah.
was actually on fire.
No, so we're looking at the "Wish You Were Here"
But,
album cover, by the way.
But
The front of it, not
Well-
the hand. And like, sorry,
I had a question that I was going to ask him about.
I stopped.
Does he not look like Donald Trump a little bit.
I just saw that.
Who does?
Now that you look at it, yeah, that's like
I feel
fiery
like,
guy?
Yeah, I feel like it's very like I don't know,
little
foreshadowing a little bit, right?
You know that's in the Warner
Pink
Brothers
Floyd, they were
studio.
different.
When
Really?
They recorded it. Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's Illuminati, bro. They're all on the same fucking page here.
Pink Floyd is in the Illuminati.
They're all in it. They're all in it,
They
bro.
didn't talk about that.
You ever listen to? There's a. So I got this.
that's what the triangle is all about.
Fucking duh! Oh my god!
I got this book on tape because I'm like really interested in the. There's this whole conspiracy theory about like the, what's that fucking, canyon, Laurel Canyon out like in LA or whatever, and like the musicians like Frank Zappa and Jim Morrison, all the people that came out of there. There's like this whole conspiracy about like, MK Ultra and how it was based out of Laurel Canyon and all like these musicians. They come from a long line of military people that were involved with MK Ultra and all this stuff, and it's like, so the conspiracy is that the CIA started the hippie movement and created these bands like Frank Zappa and the Doors, and I was
What?
And
I could
I
see that.
What?
There's a little bit of truth to everything. They definitely they probably had a hand in utilizing the movement to push their agenda, but I'm always down for a good conspiracy theory. I was listening to this book and I was like, all this guy is doing is just naming names and talking about how different people were murdered for different shit, and then drawing some comparison to a military person. So, oh well, Jim Morrison's dad was in the Air Force, and this person's dad was in.
He was an admiral actually in the Navy.
Yeah, well, right. So whatever it might have been, like,
yeah,
like it's just saying a celebrity's name. They live in Laurel Canyon, and their parents were in the military. It's like,
yeah, correlation is not causation.
Yeah, it's like this. That's okay, but there's a lot of weird, untimely deaths that happened with celebrities in that area, from like the silent film days all the way through the hippie movement.
It wasn't all drugs though.
But there's a lot of murders though. There's a lot of murders, and then like also like accidental overdoses where they were like unusually high amounts of drugs in people.
See, that was going to be my conspiracy theory right there, because they're going to draw these lines. They create the hippie movement to have people overdose on drugs, and then we can create this war on drugs.
Right. So it's all part of it, right?
Wait. So they created drugs to create a war on drugs?
Yes.
That doesn't make any sense
Well,
at all.
how much money have they made off the war on drugs, though? A lot of it. It's the CIA during like the Iran-Contra deal and all that stuff. How much drugs they brought in, and how much money the government made just off of that. Not to mention the incarceration rates and all the money they're making off of that. Are you serious?
All right. Well, I didn't bring my tinfoil hat to the podcast.
I don't buy into the Laurel
out there.
I don't buy into the Laurel Canyon thing, but there's definitely government involvement in a lot of like weird shit though.
Yeah, didn't they invent crack, the CIA or something?
Well, that's the whole thing right there. Yeah.
And then they did the MK Ultra experiments for sure.
Yeah, totally. Which then so the hippie movement thing, it's like, it's not. I don't necessarily believe that they created the hippie movement.
No.
But there's definitely a way that they can use it to propagate their agenda, right?
Further their, yeah.
They definitely they definitely used art and entertainment as tools for propaganda. They definitely did that. We know that.
Okay, that's kind of a blanket statement.
Well, no, but I mean, you think about like songs that are written like so. Okay, there's one podcast I did listen to, and it was about it's called Winds of Change.
Oh yeah.
Okay. It's really good.
Yeah. You
So
told me about
it's
this.
about
this
this
is
guy.
different though.
No, so this guy talks about, there's a song by the Scorpions called Winds of Change. Came out like the late '80s, and it came out like right around the time that the Berlin Wall was coming down and the end of the USSR and all that stuff. So, the conspiracy is that the song "Winds of Change" was written by the CIA in order to overthrow the communists, right? And so this guy goes on this. It gets deep though. I know it sounds ridiculous. So this guy goes on this mission to find out about it. He asks like all these. He interviews like CIA people and whatever, and eventually he interviews a singer of the Scorpions about it. This guy's like cracking up. He's like, "What?"
Yeah.
So that's fucking hilarious that you think that's real. That people think that's real, but he talked the CIA people he was talking to.
It took him so many steps to just Go to the Scorpions.
Yeah, go to the
Yeah,
guy. Be like,
it's like eight
did you
episodes.
write the songs? That's the CIA. That's the CIA. I fucking knew it.
It's like 8
This
episodes.
guy's not fucking talking.
He talks to the Scorpions manager also. He talks to like, and then it's pretty insane. So he talks to some CIA operatives, and they were saying that they're like, I don't know. I've never heard that song was written by the CIA, but I can for sure say that CIA has written songs as propaganda tools for sure.
Just to keep that fucking idea going on in some poor.
Well, no, but like
fucker's
these
head.
are people that are there that are saying like, I know that we've used this kind of propaganda before, like
Yeah.
especially like
Probably Lifehouse, I would say.
the CIA hired
Lifehouse, yeah.
yeah, the CIA hired
It's a good band.
like makeup artists from Hollywood.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Don't
I'm sorry.
don't feed into his bullshit.
What you're talking about is bullshit, though.
All right, you're right. It's bullshit.
There's no way.
So unpopular opinions then.
Yeah, sure. I'm sorry. I wasn't literally trying to throw your whole conversation under the bus, but I could not sit still and not make fun of it for that
Yeah,
long.
I
There's
know
no
it sounds
way.
I know it sounds ridiculous, but there are things that are weird, like how the CIA use Hollywood makeup artists to put their agents undercover, like to make them up to go undercover, like in foreign countries and stuff, to be spies.
Okay.
Like that was real.
Okay, all right.
So like there's an involvement there. You know what I mean?
The ones that are not like too far-fetched and whatnot. It's like, so like, yeah, they wrote some songs to promote some agenda. Yeah, I could get down with that. That's-
Well, what's her name? I'm drawing a blank on her name right now.
Ted
Or
Nugent.
Duke Ellington. Duke Ellington also. The government funded their tours like across like Africa and stuff like that because there was a communist government in one of the countries there, and they funded a tour so they can expose the people there to American culture. So then that way, if you expose, because the first way that you get to the people is by influencing their culture.
Okay.
When you influence a culture, you show them that this is part of what that place is, and they want more of that thing. So then you
Alright.
turn them onto the idea, and then it becomes much easier to get them on your side to overthrow the thing that's already there, which is why they use music and entertainment as a way to push their agenda, right? So the government actually funded tours for people like Duke Ellington and like drawing a blank on her name right now, but they did
Ella
this.
Fitzgerald.
That's
or-
all I
Not
can
Ella
think of too.
Fitzgerald,
Yeah, I was thinking the same
Gerald,
person. too.
Nina Simone.
Okay.
So they funded, and which is hilarious. Not hilarious. It's kind of sad. But she was very like she was very against the American government. And very outspoken about that. And actually moved to South Africa in her later years, where she eventually died there. But like to know, she never found out that one of her tours was actually funded by the U.S. government under the guise of an LLC or a fundraising thing, and they made her go on tour in Africa to like just to sing or whatever, and like the whole thing was to expose this country to American culture, and then like, her working for the people that she thought were her enemy. You know what I mean? Like the mind fuck that is for her as an artist and as a human being. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
I mean, I kind of get it.
See, that's interesting. I can.
check this
Well-
this podcast out. The Winds of Change, because they go into shit that they actually have like proof of like this stuff being real. There now, as far as the song being written by for the Scorpions, there's no proof of that.
Yeah.
But they do interview CIA people.
But
that
they
talk
kept the
about-
name.
Yeah. Yeah.
What
they kept the
song?
name,
What song?
yeah.
What's the famous song that the Scorpions did?
Hurricane.
Rocky
That-
like a hurricane.
that's
Yeah.
that's Sebastian Bach, the singer, right?
Yeah. So
they went to Sebastian Bach and then asked him.
Isn't he Skid Row?
no.
No. Have you seen Trailer Park Boys? He's in Trailer Park Boys. I remember that.
With Bubbles?
Yeah, with Bubbles. Yeah. They get a whole different thing. Anyway, I guess I tried. But yeah, that's Sebastian Bach with the real long hair.
Yeah, long hair. Yeah.
They went to him.
They interviewed him, and he was nervous about it. He was like, I'm scared to like go at this guy and be like, hey, your song was not written by you. And so, but when he approached him, he was like, that's fucking hilarious. I did not think that my song would have ever gotten to that
I
point.
just wanted to double check. It's like I was pretty sure that was the lead singer and everything
Yeah.
like that. That's hilarious, man. I want to watch that interview real bad.
It's not on video, but you can listen to it on Spotify.
Oh my god.
As well as his podcast, Bottom of the Bill.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so that's I mean, without a doubt, Imagine Dragons. That's how that started, right?
Imagine Dragons, yeah, for sure.
I thought Lifehouse actually like I kind of do like that song.
That one song they had. I saw them open up for Matchbox 20 when I was like in middle school.
I bet you
My
did.
mom took
Florida
me.
band.
Yeah.
Lifehouse from Florida.
Matchbox 20.
Where
Rob
are they
Thomas
from?
is from Florida.
Wait, where are they from?
Orlando.
They're from Orlando.
Orlando, Florida.
That
That's
makes
wild.
The real Magic City.
The real
worst,
Magic City, yeah.
worst city ever. But yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Not Lifehouse. Imagine Dragons. That is the worst band
They're
to ever exist.
I've
They're
like
coming here soon too.
I've
actually.
heard like one or two songs. I can't remember them, so they must not be that good. I don't know. I don't have an opinion on them either way.
I wouldn't recommend listening to them. Did you see for the college football championship? It was Imagine Dragons and Lil Wayne playing at the same time.
Oh,
Do you remember that halftime show?
no.
It was
Is that when
ridiculous.
Lil Wayne play the guitar?
No, it's when he came out in bright red rain boots and yellow a shirt and everything like that. And it was Imagine Dragons playing a song, and then Lil Wayne's like, "I'm gonna start rapping now." It was the worst thing.
Yeah,
I've
I
ever
would have
seen.
just changed the channel.
Not that Lil Wayne's bad. Imagine Dragons is 100% bad, but like, what are we doing?
To each his own.
Yeah.
But anyways, I think that was like in 2017. I can't remember even know who's playing.
Wow.
I think it was Baker Mayfield. Anyways,
All right, unpopular opinions.
yeah, you go first.
All right.
I have my third one. I
You have
read
your
it.
third one?
Do you have one or no?
I'll come up with
Okay,
something. Yeah.
We'll take our time on these because I can't remember what my second or third one were going to be. So I got my first one right here.
You only have one?
I know. I'm gonna get. I got my other ones too. I just
Mine
gotta
are
think about it
good.
for a second. Where's my thing at? Unpopular. Here we go. Just because a song is overplayed by cover bands does not mean it's a bad song.
I kind of agree with that, but then also like stop fucking playing that song.
I agree with that for sure, but doesn't make it a bad song. Like Freebird's not a bad song, but if one more fucking asshole yells at a
Request it.
goddamn bar,
So you don't like that when? I thought that was like a fun banter back and forth.
I thought for sure that wouldn't have happened when I moved to Jacksonville.
What?
Because I was like,
When did these started?
I know, but I was like, there's no way they're gonna do it in Jacksonville. They're from. There's no way. And then I got here, they fucking doubled. Like everyone doubled down on it. And I was like, you guys fucking suck.
I want a chalkboard that like they keep at construction sites that says like last day till accident, and then be last time since Freebird request, and then every time someone does it, just like erase like a giant number and put a 0 and then just stare at them.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That would be good.
We should start doing
Then
that.
but you just like you write a big number up there.
Yeah, you know, they're like 112 days. It's been
Yeah.
112 days since anyone said Freebird. And they're like, play Freebird. I'm like,
But
stop the
You don't
song.
even need to announce it. You can just let it happen because it's gonna happen anyway.
No, it does every time.
So you just.
But
But
you'd
they can
almost be
stop it.
you'd almost be guaranteed to have somebody yell it because they see that
I
sign.
know, it's an immutable
No,
force. You
just-
can't fucking do anything
Yeah.
to piss those people off about Freebird except don't play it.
Here's the better. Like, so you just put a number up there, and then as soon as somebody says it, just go
There you go.
cross it off and put 0, and then they're gonna be like, "Wait, what just happened?"
You did it.
Yeah, you did that.
They
You
won't.
caused this event to happen.
All right, my first one is the 80s were the best decade for everything.
Oh my God! Fuck you.
For everything.
Literally, fuck you.
Had the coolest fashion, had the best music, it had like the best sports, really. And the Dolphins?
Dolphins, damn
Yeah,
Raiders.
Dolphins.
It was pretty cool. They had an undefeated season. It was pretty nice. And then, just like.
Baseball was awesome in the 80s.
That's true. Pete
Before the
Rose.
Marlins.
Reagan. Who could forget Reagan? Trickle down economics.
I mean,
Love it.
America was the best.
yeah.
Even if you
America
get-
was the best.
Even if you get rid of all the fucking like super poppy stuff, like
Iran-Contra.
Eurythmics,
Oh, this is
I'm
good.
Flock of
Fuck yeah.
Seagulls.
Right, this is good. I
I mean,
like
that's
all
when
this.
that's when Phil
The
Collins.
war on drugs.
Listen.
Oh my God, this is all great.
I'm just,
Oh, do you not like being interrupted? Oh, you hate being interrupted. Oh,
I feel really.
I'm sorry.
attacked right now.
You're being interrupted.
So the 80s were the best.
A is the best decade. Unpopular opinion.
Flock of seagulls.
I love.
And Iran.
I love that song.
To the Contra deal, right?
Yeah. And it's Iran. All right.
Oh, sorry. Well, I'm being culturally insensitive. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
What's that? The second one. No, sorry. You got something about it?
So when we were doing the Riverside Arts Market,
Yeah.
my wife and I, we finish every show off. Like in the last half hour, we'd put on our playlist, the Tubular Awesome Radical 80s playlist. and it was our dance party to end the festival as a celebration. And it's like you can't help but be happy listening to all of it.
That's what my dad always said. He said the 80s were amazing, and then the fucking 90s came and grunge ruined all of it. It was so fun.
I do
and
like
then Kurt Cobain came around, and everyone was sad.
Ruined everything.
I do like the I do like the Back in Black album from AC/DC, which was 1980.
I was gonna say it before you interrupted me.
the
Phil Collins really came into his own and started making his own fucking shit.
Yeah, I like Genesis in the 70s way
That's
more.
what I meant with Genesis. Oh no, no, it's Phil Collins.
With Peter Gabriel in the 70s.
Yep, that's my Genesis era right there.
A lot of people like the 70s.
Let me put this in
80s Bowie. I fucking love 80s Bowie.
Let me put this in simpler terms for you.
80s
The 80s
Prince.
suck. 80s Prince, get the fuck out of here. Are you serious?
Get the fuck out of here.
No, late 70s Prince, that's where it's at, bro.
No.
The first 2 albums, are you kidding me?
Was Lil Red Corvette on that or not?
Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here. Here's my second unpopular
Raspberry
opinion.
Beret.
Prince stopped being good in the 80s. How about that?
When did Purple Rain come out?
No, that's my second unpopular opinion.
Was Purple Rain in the 70s?
I don't give a fuck
I
when Purple Rain came out.
remember it being in the 70s.
I don't give a fuck.
But I could be wrong.
Listen,
No, it was in the
listen
80s.
listen to the acapella intro on the self-titled album just called Prince. And the intro is just an acapella thing that he does. It's unreal.
Listen.
79.
Listen.
Right before the 80s came and ruined everything.
No, 80s fucking made everything better. Way more sound.
You're
It was
so
great.
80s. Everything about you. Look at your shirt.
It's unpopular opinion. Yeah, like
You look like you were just born in a trailer in Kentucky.
Is that a bad thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like a bad thing.
All right, what's your second one?
That was my second one. Prince got bad in the 80s.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's my second
I
unpopular
fucking disagree with that a million times.
Yeah, everyone will
over.
disagree with that,
He
but
got amazing.
there's some good songs, but I mean the first 2 albums were just like.
What's a good song from the 80s that you like from Prince? That's a good question.
I don't know my name. I can go on Spotify.
You
and find
can't
it
think
real quick.
like any of his popular songs.
I'm not like.
What about
Purple Rain's fine.
1999?
It's fine. I'm like it's fine. I think
It's
he
the most boring synth riff
it's
ever.
it's such a boring
The whole
song in
time.
general.
Fuck you. Talking Heads. You know, like
the
Talking Heads?
guitar part's fine. Like it's cool.
I'm not gonna let this die.
The guitar part's cool. Like it's got like an interesting feel to it. But as far as like a song that I can like listen to and really get something out of, I don't really like 1999 that much, to be honest.
Yeah, it was written in the 80s.
Yeah, I know. That's my point.
All right, my second one is political, and it's hilarious. Every homeless person should get a house and a universal basic income. Hang on, and this is the best part. And if anybody complains about it, they can also get a free house and UBI, but they just have to spend 2 years as a homeless person. I thought that was a great one.
I like that.
Like, anybody's like, you're not allowed to. I've worked too hard for this. Like, you can have it too for free, but you have to be homeless for 2 years. And they're like, okay, you can have it.
Don't want to go through that.
No, 'cause that's awful, right?
I thought you were gonna end it. They should just get a house.
No, they should.
and then deadpan it right there.
No, they should. I think that shelter is a basic human right, and I think everybody should get it. But a lot of people that work, everybody worked for it. That's not homeless, because that's the way it is right now. And people will complain and be like, "Well, why do I fucking work this long for this house?" I'm like, "You can have it too, for free, without a doubt. But you just had to be homeless for 2 years." I'd be like, "All right, fine."
Sounds good.
That's how I fix it. And my
Yeah.
Willy Wonka fucking politics.
Yeah, Willy Wonka politics. That's good. The Willy Wonka party.
Yeah.
That's where you're gonna start.
I like it.
You like it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a lot of caveats.
It would be very unpopular though.
Oh no, it's
Yeah.
a super unpopular opinion. It'll never work. But my best one's the wealth purge for sure.
The wealth purge.
Wealth purge is great, and it's
We call it Bezo bucks, right?
Bezo bucks. You just take everybody who's got more than $100 million. You just take all their money past that just for one year, and then that's it. You just take all their stuff, and then you get to start over again. But you got $100 million.
It would fix everything.
And then everything that they say in their head, they're like, that they tell everybody, it's like, I came from nothing. I was like, well, look at you. You can do it again from $100 million.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's not going to take that hard. And then everybody gets to eat.
Yeah.
Anyways, last one.
Well.
For you.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what my last one's gonna be. Star Wars is overrated.
Fuck you, dude. Actually, I will say that it is overrated.
Yeah, I'm not sure how unpopular that is.
Well, yeah, I guess it's true, but a lot of people like it though.
Oh, I love it. It's
And-
like my favorite thing in the world.
We're
And the
obsessed.
acting is just terrible. The worst acting I've ever seen in my life.
It's not great.
which to me takes me out of the movie. So like the concept could be good, but the acting sucks. I'm not buying it.
It's not winning Academy Awards, that's for sure. But
Yeah.
it is like one of the most.
Did it though, or did it?
Maybe for like definitely not.
Not for acting.
Yeah.
For maybe like visual
Special
effects,
effects for
special
the
effects
time,
and
yeah.
stuff. Definitely not best screenplay, I would say.
I mean, I liked it when I was a kid, but then I grew up and it was like, yeah, this movie sucks.
I'm pretty sure it never won an Academy Award, honestly, but it might have. But it's the most like one of the most original fucking things ever.
Yeah.
You can't argue that.
No, I can't argue that.
Anyways, my last one is very unpopular in that I think Frank Zappa's pretty annoying. Yeah.
He is annoying.
Really?
He was annoying. I like his. I like that he pushed the boundaries of creativity.
Yeah.
I'm into that, and anybody that's going for that, I'm gonna respect. I'm gonna support. But yeah, I mean, like I don't put on Zappa just to vibe
No.
for sure. You know?
I was watching a YouTube video about where he was writing some song where it was everybody they play it and it's like the most crazy fucking thing you've ever heard. He fucking loves his xylophone. I just can't get on that. I don't like
I
them.
do love a good xylophone. If you ever see it live,
I mean,
it's so
Yeah.
cool.
I mean, it's cool
two-
to play it, especially when they had like the 4 drumsticks or mallets in their hand. It's like
we have a fucking percussionist in our band. Come on, you know they're called mallets.
I'm not putting on fucking xylophone record. I don't have one xylophone record, but I'm just saying. Okay,
You only have one xylophone record.
I only have
That's
one.
why
I only
I focus
have
on it for a
one. I only
second
have
because nobody has a xylophone record.
got
You're just like,
one.
oh, we got one xylophone
only got
record. like everyone else has like 100 of them.
No, yeah, well, I would assume so. But in that YouTube video, or when he was on stage, they play it, and they're like, "All right, now what we're gonna do is everybody's gonna play their part, but they're just gonna kind of sing it." And it was just like the most gibberish, like the whole time. And then they're like, "All right, so we did that. Now we're gonna do the same song, but we're gonna dance it." And I'm like, I fucking hate you. I don't want to watch this anymore.
Telling you, man,
it's so annoying.
I'm telling you,
that
MK
sounds-
Ultra, bro. MK Ultra. I'm telling you,
You
Laurel Canyon. He's part of the whole
Didn't
thing.
he died? He died of like cancer or something like that.
I forget
don't
what he
know.
died of. Yeah, I forget.
Government cancer.
Government cancer, bro.
cancer.
Fucking, they got him. They killed him, bro. He knew too much. They killed him. That's what happens. Everyone in Laurel Canyon, they all fucking die, bro.
What's Laurel Canyon?
It's like a neighborhood in L.A.
Oh, I thought it was like a place they all went camping. No, that's what I thought in my head. Like they all went there, and then like Bermuda Triangle of California.
You are so fucking country. It annoys me sometimes.
Shoot!
I thought that was a place where they went camping.
Anyways, all right. So we got one.
All right. Unpopular opinion: pineapples belong on pizza, but onions do not.
Ooh, yeah.
I know people fight over that.
I like
Yeah,
onions on
because
pizza,
pineapple on
But
pizza is an
not-
abomination.
but yeah, somebody just straight up.
Onions are terrible on pizza too, though.
No, they're
I'm
not.
very bare minimum pizza kind of guy. You put some pepperoni on there, it's fine. Some sausage. I'll take some banana peppers too. But we
Onions
go
are good on
beyond
pizza.
ham. That can stay. But like anything else, we're going overboard, guys. We don't need olives on the pizza. We don't need,
Nothing's gonna
Ooh,
make
see,
your.
I love olives on the pizza.
we don't
That's
need
my least
pineapple.
favorite.
That's my
on
number
pizza.
one.
Yeah.
We don't need anything on the pizza but meat and maybe some banana peppers, and that's it.
You ever had like eggplants?
Yeah, I love it. I do like eggplant on pizza.
Eggplant on pizza is good.
I like eggplant.
You don't
yeah.
like any vegetables on pizza?
Yeah, but I can do mushrooms. You don't really taste them on pizza.
That's not a vegetable. That's
It's a vegetable.
Fungus.
Whatever.
It
Does the
is.
same thing.
It's not. It's actually like an animal, technically.
Oh, so the vegans are in trouble now, aren't they?
It's not like a real animal.
No, that's so.
Are you vegan?
I'm vegetarian, so
Okay.
yeah, mushrooms are the most important food.
Yeah,
For
for sure.
They're my favorite.
So
if
say-
it is a vegetable,
Maybe that's an unpopular opinion.
What?
They're animals. That
They're
like
not
animals.
animals.
They are
They ha-
living though.
They are
They
living.
are living.
They have
though.
very complex root systems. They
Mhm.
say that more complex than the Japanese subway system, which is pretty sophisticated.
Yeah, there's like one giant ass mushroom out in like Yellowstone Park or something like that.
There is.
Yeah, or something like that.
You probably know more about it than we do. We're just talking shit. What do you guys say about it? You probably know more about it, right?
Oh, they're just very important, and they know everything. And if you ever watch the documentary, what is it? Fantastic Fungi.
Oh yeah, I saw that. It's on Netflix, right?
Yes,
Yeah, I was
it
gonna
is.
watch it.
Is it good?
It's really good. Yeah.
But I love mushrooms. I could just eat a whole bowl of mushrooms, like
I-
cook.
It's
like,
it's
I'm not gonna eat 'em raw.
medicine. It's food.
Yeah.
It's
I can't stand the way that they taste. They all taste like mushrooms that you eat to trip.
Not at all.
They all taste like that.
No,
That's-
you're eating the wrong ones then.
Every mushroom I
the wrong
taste, I'm like,
cooks.
oh, I feel like I'm supposed to be tripping in an hour.
They don't
Which
taste
is
like
not
that
the
at all.
worst thing either.
No, I don't mind. I don't mind the trip aspect of it, but we can all agree that those don't taste good, right? They're fine.
Very earthy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
earthy. It's like you ever had kava?
Oh yeah,
I like kava. You ever go to the kava bar in Hollywood?
I did. Yeah,
I used to go there all the time. Then there was one in Fort Lauderdale also.
yeah. That one I went to. There was like this whole cult aspect.
There was
of
a little
that
weird,
one. Yeah,
for
right
sure.
by Culture Room.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's kava?
It's like a drink. It comes from like a root, and it's
A euphoric drink that has no alcohol in it.
Like root beer?
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's got a it's
don't
like
like
a
root
natural
beer.
it's like a natural like anti-anxiety. They also like kind of advertise as like a muscle relaxer kind of thing.
Oh.
But it's
Numbs
all
your
natural.
mouth. Yeah.
And like it's the one thing that you drink that has like a reverse tolerance. So the more that you drink it, the easier it is to get the effects.
Really?
Yeah, there's a kava bar right here in 5 Points. It's called
It gets you drunk?
well, it doesn't get you drunk, but you get a physical kind of like chill. You know, I have when I lived in South Florida.
I'm a little skeptical.
No, it's good.
It's like a euphoric vibe.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very relaxing. When I went to the one in Hollywood. I mean, I used to go there all the time. But one time I went by myself because I was like waiting for somebody to show up, and I ordered like an entire bowl for myself and drank like 10 of those little coconuts, 10 of them, and I was legit fucked up. I like got up and like stumbled to the bathroom. It was bad. But if you
And it's legal?
yeah, well, it doesn't get you fucked up really.
Right.
I drank a lot. I drank way too much of it. You're supposed to drink like 2 or 3 little cups of it, and then like you really can't drink more. It's a bitter taste.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like
It's not good.
It's not good. Everybody's doing it.
But so the Kava bar here in 5 Points, I cannot remember what it's called right now. You do a jazz jam in there every Sunday with Ulysses Owens. He's a Grammy Award-winning
Yeah, they
drummer.
do yoga in there too.
Yeah. They do like these really cool mocktails, and they do like I got a cinnamon toast crunch one that was really fucking good.
Yeah.
And you sip on it, and it's like it kind of relaxes you. There's no alcohol there, so it's just that, and then you
So
go
it's like coffee?
listen to some good jazz.
I
And
can't figure this thing out.
It's kava. It's not like coffee. It's
Very just like a loungy.
Do you drink it hot or warm or cold?
it's room temp.
All this sounds weird to me. I'll go check it
Go
out.
check it
I'll
out.
try anything once. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? $20 is $20.
Yeah.
That's a
Man,
good.
I can't remember what it's called right now, man. It's bothering me. I want to support them, but yeah, it's right here in 5 Points. Definitely go check it out.
I'll check it out.
Um,
Oh no, I know exactly where that is.
Yeah.
I know exactly where that is. It's off of. Yeah, it's behind
Yeah,
Root
it's
Down.
Right off that side street.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen it. I see it. I go to Root Down all the time. It's one of my favorite bars here.
Yeah.
You been there?
That
before?
bar is awesome.
I love it
I
so
wish
much.
they sold liquor there, man. I'd hang out there all the time if they
It's
did.
never crowded. The drinks are cheap. They have a really good beer selection.
I know,
and
but I don't
then
like
They
drinking
just
beer that
play
much.
like the best music.
They do play good
always,
music.
And they always have a disco ball. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Places
It's
they,
like the
they
80s.
they also used to do video games on a projector.
Yeah,
on
they
the-
used
on-
to
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife and I would go and watch somebody playing Mario 3.
Nice.
And they're like,
Yeah, I wish they sold liquor there. I'd be there all the time because I live like walking distance from there, so I would go. Like I love the vibe of the place. I just can't drink beer all night.
And they do silent discos on Friday and Saturday. I've never been though.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, this has been a really fun podcast, man. Thank
Yeah.
you for hanging out with us.
thanks
today.
for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. And
Thanks for all the gifts. We didn't show them, but
Yeah.
like, yeah, that you gave us like posters, and I'm really excited to see those
Yeah, I
posters.
can't
Yeah.
show up empty-handed.
No,
Yeah.
yes, you can. Not that we're expecting anything, but not that we haven't loved every single guest that's been on here.
Of course. Yeah, no, but we really appreciate it, man. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Without
Thank
doubt.
you guys.
And we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in.
All right, adios, muchachos.